So y'all know that JP's got a fan. So JP, we get YouTube comments.
Yeah,
right?
I know that. Yeah.
So you understand how it works, right? So
Yeah.
we get YouTube comments, folks. I'm gonna. Where'd I put it, honey? There you go, Tom. There's our YouTube fan for JP.
All right.
So Tom's got the printout, and
hi guys, and it's got like a little kissy mouth and 2 hearts and a picture of you, JP. So whoever Amy Coates, profile picture looks interesting.
yeah, JP.
Yeah, it does look interesting.
I got
YouTube.
I got hand it over to him. See, JP's got YouTube fans, so JP. When I said fun, I was talking about something else we were going to do, but you decided to blow the top off that one, so we're going to let our fans. You get
Look at it.
You get comments on YouTube sometimes.
Yeah,
It's just what happens, JP.
Yeah.
You're a bad boy. Now, should you hit that thing for? That's not for you, but maybe we should play that music for you in there, JP.
That what?
Do you want me to get the digits for you?
What? I don't know. I don't know. I would like to see who this is, but I mean, it's just
JP. I'm
What's that
gonna.
got
I'm
to
gonna
do with
save.
JP? You do want to know who that is.
I am going to save you from this being a KTC Manti Te'o thing. You do not want her number.
That's correct. That would be probably most likely a
I never
Russian
said,
or Taiwanese
I never
bot.
said I wanted her name or I never said I wanted her number. I said I would just like to find out who it was. I never said I wanted her number.
It's probably a he who lives somewhere in Asia who wants your credit card information.
My
so
point
just don't worry
proven.
Don't
Well,
worry
JP,
I'm
all
just
I
saying,
know
JP,
is
Terry,
you got a fan.
We got JP comments. Hi guys, kissy face, hearts, smiley face and hearts, and a screenshot of JP there. Love it, love JP.
You would think that just happened because he's wearing the same sweatshirt in that picture as he is here.
That must have been another payday.
Very funny.
That's why she's hitting you up.
When did that start?
I don't know.
That's why she's hitting you up. She knew that was your payday.
Although the thing did say
Don't
3
tell-
weeks
don't tell
ago.
people.
Right.
You might not let us come back.
Right. See, JP?
Maybe she'll send you another one, JP, to let you know that she is for real.
She's watching.
Well, JP say hello to Amy while she if she's watching, and then we'll
Hey, Aim, how you doing?
What in the
All
world?
right. All right.
Hey, you said say hey to her, so I did.
Oh my goodness.
What do you want from me?
Moving on.
Hey.
Moving on.
But we get
Why don't y'all
Go.
start talking about sports?
we
hey?
Here we
we
go.
get a buku
God,
of
that's
those
awesome.
kind of comments.
right.
Oh, I'm sure.
Right.
Just
What in
And
So
that's
we have
all
to
you
block
see.
them and go through and well, listen.
It's
when
not someone that's like, hey, I really enjoy the show. We would love to promote you. No, it's, hey, boys,
Right.
with a bunch of kissies faces.
Listen,
Wait.
when JP started throwing up signs of love on
Oh God,
on
you're
the
really gonna
screen,
bring
that's
that
when
now.
the comments
Oh,
just
come
started
on.
blowing up for JP. Is when he started showing out his hand signs, and then the girls started commenting.
Oh, they
The
probably
It
girls
was
started
one
commenting.
hand sign. It was all right. So
Oh,
two
it was
hand
more-
signs.
yeah, two.
But one of them
Multiple.
was not
Plural.
even intentional.
Plural, JP. Well, good morning, JP. How was Halloween for you and everything, and everybody? And I hope everybody's been good this week. You doing good, bro? How's breakfast? What's you eating?
That was Halloween.
From Mitchum's Kitchen.
2 weeks ago, wasn't it?
My
Yeah,
God.
Wait,
2 weeks ago.
I haven't even
It's
asked him about it.
Thanksgiving
I haven't even
coming
asked
up.
him about it yet.
Well, it was fine.
Okay.
I mean, apart from I couldn't wear my costume at work.
Have you had breakfast yet at from Mitchum's Kitchen?
No,
I haven't
I
started on
have
mine.
the
Terry, what'd you
box.
have?
I had a pancake with some syrup and liver mush.
Hunter.
Of Sunrise Wrap. JP, what do you have in the box?
I will be having some grits and eggs and toast.
Ooh.
Grits and eggs
Sounds like a little platter you got.
Oh yeah.
and toast. So, guys, we got to talk Masters. I'm going to turn the TV on. I didn't even get to that. Totally forgot about that. And we're going to watch it here this morning and give some updates live, what's going on the course and everything. We're going to talk a little bit about that in a little bit.
Yeah, we will.
We're going to talk NCAA, NFL picks. We've got special appearances by Andre Bush and my children. We've got NBA mock draft. The draft is this week, guys. Big trade talk in the NBA as well, Hunter. Hornets may be involved, may not be involved. Rockets,
I've heard
flying
about
all
that.
over the country. Just all kinds of fun stuff to get into that. Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe
It's not looking good for the Hornets, but
I feel like someone's gonna mess something up.
for the Charlotte.
Yes.
Or just
Yes.
Charlotte
For
in general?
Charlotte,
For Charlotte.
they even whoever they get, it's not going.
No,
Terry,
that's what I'm saying.
Terry, there's a bunch of rumors flying around your Boston Celtics right now. Kemba to the Pelicans is one of them. Gordon Hayward to the Indiana Pacers is one of them.
I can see us getting rid of Kemba.
So there's all kinds of things
Never
to go
helped
over
us.
there. Haven't seen any rumors about the Cavaliers, Tom. So we'll talk about.
Well, they're
that.
going to get the kid from Dayton.
Okay.
What I hear.
That's not a bad pick.
If
That's
he's
Hunter's,
available.
That's Hunter's favorite.
Yeah.
So we're going to break all that down. We're going to do the picks ourselves here in just a little bit. And so first off, let's see what else. Oh, NASCAR. We got to wrap up the NASCAR season. We got to wrap up Jimmy and Chad, and then Chase Elliott seasons, and then Terry's not thrilled about it. I guess I don't know why. It should be. I mean, isn't that a silver lining, Hunter, that the Chevy pulls off the championship in the cloud?
Wasn't he the youngest to win it too?
Right.
No, third youngest.
Whatever.
Whatever.
His youngest Elliott, maybe.
Third. youngest.
He ain't no good, Hunter.
Yeah.
That's
I
what somebody-
realize.
Hunter,
He
somebody-
couldn't
You have
pass
to
Jeff
understand.
Gordon. Jeff
He
Gordon's
ain't
in
This is
no
a
front of
good.
him.
Dale
Listen.
Earnhardt fan,
Listen.
and
Yeah.
you're asking him about
realize.
Elliott.
I
You can't
realize.
get.
Yeah.
You're
He
getting,
must not have been real good
You're
if
asking
none
his
of our expert panel picked him. So
You know
asking
what?
Terry to talk about how good Billy Kilmer
So
was
he
for
got
the
lucky.
Redskins right now.
Nobody picked
Or Doug
a
Williams.
Chevrolet on a Speedway. I mean, that's
I
just the
didn't.
way it was. We
that's
didn't.
straight up. I said that at the beginning. I was like, I'm
No.
going manufacturer, and I'd have to just look at the driver after.
Yeah.
It helped. It wasn't a big mile and a half. It was just a mile, just barely over a mile. I think
Yeah.
is what Phoenix is.
Yeah.
So, and then the other guys, for whatever reason, weren't that strong. Harvick not being there was something too. 'Cause that's one
Logano
of
won
his
the
better
first
tracks.
stage. Logano won the first.
Okay.
Right. Well, I mean, Jimmy coming fifth, so
Yeah.
the Chevys had good cars, obviously, for that day. So, all right, guys, we're gonna break all that down. JP, you ready for our first break? Let's get that. We're gonna get organized, and we're gonna be ready to talk sports here in just a minute. I'm gonna get the Masters on for us to look at, and then we're going to. I think what did I have on the first segment? Do y'all remember what I texted y'all?
NCAA.
We're gonna do NCAA picks in just a minute on KTC.
You know, we always tell our kids that there's no such thing as a money tree. But did you know at Friendship Nissan in Forest City, we kind of do have a money tree? Our money tree gives a $500 better price on any new Nissan, and that's a $500 guarantee that we put in writing. We have no haggle clear choice pricing, the region's only non-commissioned sales force, and we have the only lifetime warranty with no time or mileage limits. So you see, at Friendship Nissan, we kind of do have a money tree, and we're located in Forest City.
Take advantage of a special offer on the versatile Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor. Switching attachments is simple, and a smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation. The Kubota BX Series, the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. for over 10 years. You own the land. Now, make it yours. Get the Kubota BX 2380 for payments as low as $99 a month.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive, off Highway 74 at Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain. It's leaf season, and Hojo Power Sports and Equipment is the place to go. Come see the leaf clearing Walker mowers, the very best in leaf pickup. Or if you want to blow them away, check out the all-new Billy Goat Walk Behind blower. And of course, they carry Husqvarna, Red Max, and Shindawa handheld blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws. So suck it up or blow it away at Hojo Power Sports and Equipment, located at 110 Greg Street in Shelby, off South Lafayette Street. Online at hojopower.net and see their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. There's a brand new Wednesday night special at Love's Fish Box in Kings Mountain. But first, on Tuesdays after 4 p.m., it's Alaskan whitefish with all the trimmings for just $6.99. And now on Wednesday nights, you've asked for them and now you've got them. Beef tips. That's right, beef tips. With your choice of fries or baked potato, slaw or salad, peppers and onions, or mushroom gravy for only $9.95. And on Thursdays, it's their 8-ounce hamburger steak with your choice of baked potato, slaw, or salad for only $6.99 at Love's Fish Box, 1104 Shelby Road, Highway 74 Business West in Kings Mountain. If you're in the market for new flooring, go to this area's most recommended flooring store. That's Flooring America on Slater Street in Kings Mountain. Flooring America in Kings Mountain is where friends send friends for their flooring needs. And right now, you'll find the ever-popular luxury vinyl plank for only $2.99 a square foot. That's right, only $2.99 a square foot, all during the Fresh Start Flooring Sale. Give your home a refresh with one stop at Flooring America, 602 Slater Street in Kings Mountain, online at flooringamericakingsmountain.com. At United Bank, banking means more than financial solutions. It means rallying around the causes that matter to their employees, customers, and neighbors. Over the years, United Bank has grown in size, but their community focus has not changed. By giving back to our local communities and funding business development, we help fuel economic growth. United Bank, member FDIC.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang.
Looks pretty good down there.
It does.
Yeah, we're sitting here, ladies and gentlemen, watching the Masters on television. We got a little update for you. We've got, I'm pretty sure it was Cameron Rahm right now. Is that who they've been on?
Yeah, Rahm.
He's co-leader.
A co-leader, 9 under. And we were just sitting here commenting on the green. You're used to seeing the Masters played this time of year, or not this time of year, I'm sorry, but earlier in the year in April.
Yeah, with azaleas and all that pretty look they got down there.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, I've seen shots of it, and I don't think it looks bad at all. I think the fall foliage actually kind of makes it not as pretty to look at, but it's still pleasing to the eyes. Tiger Woods has also been one to make big news as he made he's at -4 right now. He's 4 under.
Ooh.
It's just amazing how this is the only golf course in the world that has azaleas and people care about it. I just, never played a golf course that had bushes before. What is the big thing about that?
It makes it different.
It's
That's
the
trademark,
Kevin. It's the trademark.
That's like a college.
I thought the trademark was the jacket.
That's college football fans talking about the pageantry of it. Well,
The
anyway,
course trademark. The course trademark.
Say the trademark is the jacket.
is the answer or something else? Leader Abraham Answer, Smith, Thomas, Johnson, Rahm, all at 9 under. It's John Rahm, Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Cameron Smith.
Oh, there he is. Well, he's at -1 now.
DeChambeau's at -1, Terry.
That's where he's got to
Here he
be.
comes.
So he probably went home last night, shot up a little bit, and he's ready to go today.
Oh, Tommy.
Act like we haven't seen
bogeys.
somebody that was beefed up hitting a golf ball before. You remember when Tiger Woods hit the scene?
Well, yeah. Here's the thing.
Driving it
when
almost 30 to 40 yards further than anybody else.
They Jack Nicklaus used to drive it further than most players in his heyday. The thing about the Masters is there's not that much out of bounds, if any at all.
Bang, Terry. He's 2 under now. Now you're going to have to watch him play all weekend, Terry. I know you're excited about that.
He's got 2 more shots to get
Look at
halfway to
that.
the lead and win this joker.
Look at that.
Still win this joker.
Look at
He's
that.
7 shots back.
Look at
I
that.
didn't say
Puma
that.
hat.
Look at that. He's 4 under on the back.
Terry, if
Look
he
at that
birdies one of the
Puma
next
hat.
2 holes and finishes his first 2 rounds at 3 under, and then he's 6 shots back, he has a good day. He's 5 under, 6 under. Then he's got a shot.
Ooh, Tiger. A
got
little
too
bit
many
too
push
much
I'm
back
gonna go down
from
the
him.
hill. There it goes.
Little bit-
Hey, look at that. He was 3 feet from the hole,
That
and spun it
backspin
all the way off
killed
the
him.
green into the rough. Yep, Tiger. Well, see, he hit a shot earlier in round 1. Excuse me. And it was from a 135 shot, and he hit a pitching wedge short. And, I play with a lot of friends, a lot of people, and that's 135 pitching wedge that's about an average pitching wedge. I can get beef mine up to 150 if I'm sure Tiger can too, but it's just being short from 135 with that pitching wedge was kind of weird for him. So he just left that one short as well.
I think the biggest question mark you're going to have for the rest of the weekend with Tiger is, will his back last?
Well, that too, but what I was going to say is that, the fact, Hunter, that he knows this course so well, and he's got a green at his house with the same putting surfaces on it. They haven't played in November. What you were talking about?
Yeah, it's different.
So the putting is going to be a little bit different. The shots, if you remember last year's round, was it Molinari? I mean, they were just firing darts at the green. It was soft, wet, early April, just So will they bounce around a little bit more?
Yeah, you would think the ground would be a whole lot harder
Right.
this time of year.
And so then you look at, here comes DeChambeau, 440 yards from the green. Let's see how far he
Good
hits it.
God. looks like my shot, except
He
it goes a
faded
little
it
bit further
way
right.
over there.
Big high fade into the trees.
There you go.
So the thing about the Masters and like the big hitters and Tiger is you can go for a lot of corners, go for a lot of things because y'all see how clear the woods are. That's one of the things they've cleared that out. There's going to be no brush fires at the Masters time. It's just so you can miss wide, miss here, get in other places and go at it. So these big guys, he's got a chance to come back. That's why before the rounds you look at Dustin Johnson's and those guys of the world. I think Dustin was my pick this week with a friend of mine.
But Dustin Johnson's been one of my favorite golfers for a long time. He's just been so consistent in his play for the years, and then Brooks came along, and I really enjoyed watching Brooks play. But if I was with you, I probably would have said Dustin Johnson too. And now, you're looking at the leaderboard, and you said he's tied up right now, nine under for the lead. What was that, a 6-way tie for the lead?
Right now, 5. So
5.
John Rahm, Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Cameron Smith, all of those are finished through round 2. So Rahm's finishing up. He's still on the course. He's still got 3 holes. So he's got a chance to finish round 2 as the leader. And Paul Casey has not finished his round 2 either. He's got 4 holes. He could get up and tie for the lead as well.
I love that tracker.
Or maybe take over.
I love the ball
the
tracker.
ball tracers.
Yeah.
Right. It does help. It's it's kind of
especially for
reminiscent
the
of the
fan.
hockey. It's kind of reminiscent of the hockey pucks.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all remember those where they caught on fire and it looked like the video game. But for the fan being able to see the ball, because they see it standing out there, and that's hard to. You're exactly right. It's really hard to watch. Because you get to see, hey, he's trying to cut this into this green. He's trying to hook it into
weird.
here.
No fans though. That's just weird.
Did I send you the picture?
It just looks like just looks like if I go out there and play golf right now.
Did y'all see the picture of Rory?
No.
With the tracer, he hit one yesterday. It was just dead left into the woods. I'm gonna pull it up, and it's pretty good. There's Tiger chipping back to where he almost got close, and he puts it right at.
There you go.
So that's
Great
one
shot.
That's probably Tiger's, one of his biggest attributes is his chipping. Like he gets it close, and that's one thing when you're playing with people, they'll hit a bad shot, and you're like, I got him here, and then they chip it within a foot. You're like, oh, I don't have him here.
Yeah, but Tiger's, chipping obviously is a strong suit. He's always been known for his putting. What he can do on the
There's a
putting.
good
green.
shot from his partner, bang off the green.
Look at
About
that.
that chip.
Look at that.
Nice chip, Tiger.
Lowry.
Shane Lowry.
That gets him to minus
that gets him to
one.
the cut. That gets him to the cut.
Currently,
They always say it's 50 players or however many's tied.
Yeah.
So it could be more
They
than
said
50.
top 50 players and ties.
Yeah.
So,
Patrick Reed.
You guys got a favorite right now at this point that you guys are looking at? I guess I'll stay with my pick as Johnson right now.
Yeah, Johnson looks pretty solid. I was just about to say that as well.
They have him listed first, but
Tom,
yeah,
someone's
there's
gonna cut that
there's
the
the
wrong way.
5. There's the 5 that are tied there, 9 under. So far,
Yes.
I would say probably Dustin Johnson. He's been one of my favorites. South Carolina guy, so he's kind of local. At least regional, geographically, he is. And but I don't know. Just the more I've watched Rahm play, I think he looks pretty good too right now. DeChambeau could pop off at any moment.
He's
All he
not
has
gonna
to
catch up.
all he has to do is hit one solid one, and like Kevin said, maybe 2 solid ones and get birdie somewhere, and he'd be back in contention. The one that everybody wants to see is it's going to be Tiger. Tiger's going to be the talk about this as long as he stays within striking distance. But I have the same feeling about it that a lot of people is, will his back hold out? Will he maybe take that one wrong swing and he's going to have to check himself out because he got a hitch in it? I don't know. You'd like to see him at least make it to the final day, which, it looks like he's going to be able to play tomorrow if this continues.
Doesn't look like he's in any pain or anything. Looks like
No,
playing
he's
pretty
probably
well.
shot up with cortisone.
Something.
Something.
Walking. People don't get like how long it is. So what? You do some math on it. If you walk 7,000 yards, Tom, like how many miles is that?
Well,
it's 21.
It's about 4 miles.
Yeah, they don't just have golf carts.
So that's just walking 4 miles, and between while you're walking that 4 miles, some people can't walk 4 miles. They ain't doing anything. You're hitting precise golf shots into greens and into places.
And after a while, the more you stand, the more strain it's going to put on your lower back. So, and this motion, it's a lot in your lower back.
I didn't think it was going to be this hard.
Patrick Reed's sitting there at 10th. So, but he's at -7. So think about that. The leaders are at 9 under, and he's 10th at 7 under.
So a couple of my friends obviously grew up we grew up in the Tiger Woods area. So they're the Tiger Woods fanboys. And so they send me texts and all this other stuff all the time, and about Tiger. And one thing that I was trying to explain to him was like, look, he may have had his best first round ever, but 8 other people had a better first round.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of people. You're not jumping one person. You're not jumping two. There's a lot of people playing good right now. And there's another good shot.
Look at this.
Tracing towards who hit this one?
Patrick Reed.
So I'm pulled up for my fellas here online. If you're watching, so if you listen on the radio, brought to you by Friendship Chrysler, Jeep Dodge Ram of Forest City, and Friendship Nissan of Forest City. If you're watching online, we do this live, folks, on Facebook, and we post it on YouTube for the folks to go back and watch it. There's the Rory McIlroy shot.
Good God.
Tom,
These,
on our screen right here, Tom, in front of you. I guess you might be able to see it better up there. I'm not sure.
Into the trees.
look at as soon as he hit it, his head's still down. He's just like, yeah, there's the.
So Dustin Johnson, I can that's his partner is Dustin Johnson. Wonder what he's thinking sitting there watching Roy go whack. But look at the tracer. Have you ever seen that on a PGA? That looks like a KTC doing a Yeti. Our Yeti team, Tom, is somebody just yanking it left.
It looks like
I think I did that on the first hole over there and hit it in the UPS truck area.
Oh, look at this roll.
Oh, there it goes down the hill.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Terry, favorite right now? Anybody?
Well, I mean, it don't. I'm the same as y'all. Dustin Johnson's going to be hard to beat with him out front, but I mean, Thomas is not bad. Thomas has been playing pretty good.
That's one of my friends.
I just don't think Rom's going to do it, and I don't think Devious Charbrough is going to have anything to do with it.
I think one of the good picks would be Dustin Johnson. The reason is I think I alluded to it earlier. He's consistent. He doesn't really make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, he does not.
For him to be out where he is right now, and especially how he played day one, it's going to be hard because you're basically betting on him making a mistake and the guys behind him not making mistakes.
I don't know where DeChambeau's at, but that's not a good looking.
No, that's not where he should be.
That's not it. And he hit the limb with his follow through.
But now that's okay. As long as the ball's gone.
Right.
Yeah.
All it did, and he stuck it 10 feet from the hole, Terry. No, maybe that's his partner.
He's on the back
That's
side.
his partner, and maybe he missed
There
my
he
mile.
is.
There he is. He's at the drainage ditch.
He is.
Never mind.
Listen, that's what's so funny is he just had a good hole where he was able to come get a little bit closer, and now he's struggling.
So, folks, we're going to give you some updates throughout the.
I think it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's on his third shot now. His third shot, and he's long ways from the. He could chip it up there, but he's not a Tiger Woods on doing something like that. So
I hurts so bad because these greens, like when you play these really good sophisticated courses, like you have to hit them to areas of the green. You can't hit it just on the green and be in a good spot.
Yesterday I saw Phil Mickelson have to take a shot, and I'm telling you the hole is like over to his left.
Mm-hmm.
He turned completely around towards his right to hit up a hill so it would come back down.
And I bet him being left-handed would make it look really funny, too.
It did. And when you're looking at it, you're like, what are you shooting at?
People are probably looking at that like, did his mind just go?
Yeah, I mean, you really thinking he has hit something clean out of bounds.
Right.
And trying to pitch it back.
I'm guessing Dustin Johnson's tee hasn't happened yet.
No, they're still in the second round. They're finished up the second round right now.
Right now.
So the third round hasn't started.
5-way tie for first place.
Right.
Yeah.
And listen, but with that time, there's 4 with 1 stroke back, 5 2 strokes back.
Yeah, 10th spot guy is only 2 strokes back.
Tiger's sitting in 21st place, but he's only 5 back. But Tiger's actually closer to being the cut line at even than he is first place now.
Yeah,
it's backed up that far. But they haven't started the third round, guys. So they're finishing up round 2. They'll start round 3
today as well.
I'll say this for Tiger. Even if he doesn't win, I think a good sign is that he finishes. Doesn't doesn't get cut because he doesn't meet the cutoff line, and his back doesn't take him out. I think that's a good sign for him here in a major. Of course, a lot of people would love to see him win it because that continues on to his legacy, and that would be back-to-back years at the Masters. But if he just finishes, I think that would be a moral win for him. And I know he probably doesn't want to sit there and say, oh, well, that's a moral win. He wants to go out there and really win it. But at his age and the way that his body has acted, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, not his. They want to win.
Oh yeah, everybody out there on that course wants to win.
No,
unless
I'm talking about his fanboys. They're bloodthirsty.
Oh yeah, I know they want
to
to win. They would like to say back-to-back years. Last year's was not a fluke. He's done it back-to-back years. It was not rigged like Kevin believes that it was.
He's 2 shots back when he come into last year, the final, and then
that's the first time he's ever done it.
Yeah, and first time ever.
And he didn't go forward. The guy came back to him. So that's
he did blow up. He put one in the water and everything.
Everybody blew one up. Molinari hit every green.
Let's see this. Did DeChambeau was he able to get back on the green?
Apart. I'm sure he's got on the green by now. Yeah,
I hope so. I think one of the problems that he will run into is DeChambeau. He's been able to light it up, but some of these courses, I feel like the Masters, you need to be a little bit more precision than just brute force like he is.
Like chipping it in from the
Look
side.
at that.
Well, somebody else chips one in.
So their balls are flying in the holes here on the
Scotty Scheffler
on the in the second round. So folks, to stay tuned. It looks like it's going to be a shot makers tournament. All right. So let's see. Answer Smith, Thomas, Johnson, and Rom still in first base right now. Folks, we're going to give you some more updates here near the end of the show about where everybody is before you get on out to your day and I guess get out and watch and find a place to sit down. JP, who you picking to win?
That's not bad there, though.
Tiger or Jack Nicklaus?
Tiger.
Tiger. Okay, so he goes with Tiger. All right, JP. Well, thanks for showing up and helping up. JP, you ready to? We're going to do picks now in a minute, and I've put something together, Hunter. My kids and Andre helped me. We've put together our, instead of NASCAR Minute, because NASCAR's over, we're doing bad picks with Hunter, Terry, and Tom. So, folks, listen up.
Dang.
This is not live. This is Andre and my kids with bad picks. JP, are you ready in there? I need you to go ahead and hit the music for me for just a second to get us set up.
Am I going to have to hit this?
No, you don't have to hit anything.
Okay.
Wait on JP to hit my music. There we go. Bad picks, boys. Bad picks. May says bad picks.
That's what we do.
Bad boys. All right, here we go, JP. Stop it. Here we go. Here's our bad picks from last week, brought to you by Andre, Austin, and Isabel.
UNC Tar Heels at Duke Blue Devils.
I think Duke's going to cover the spread because it's a rivalry game. And what I've seen from Carolina, you lost to Florida State, a team you can't beat. You lost to a Virginia team, a team you can't beat. And now you're playing a Duke, a team you can't beat. I'm taking Duke as to beat them.
For the
What's
win.
the over-under?
Tar Heels 56, Blue Devils 24. Colorado at UCLA.
Yeah, because Colorado's coach is not there. That was there last year. I'm going to take UCLA. He's the one that's coaching Michigan State now.
Colorado 48, UCLA 42. Washington State at Oregon State.
Who's home?
The Beavers.
Oh, I'll go with the Beavers.
Washington State 38, Oregon State 28. Indiana at Michigan.
Michigan's got to bounce back. I'm taking Michigan. There's no way that they can just allow that to happen.
Indiana 38, Michigan 21. Iowa at Michigan State.
Michigan State at Iowa, Hunter. Iowa favored by 5.5. Neither team ranked.
I like Michigan State here.
But it's a big win. They might have a letdown.
Yeah, that's what I would have took Iowa. But, that's your pick, huh?
I like Michigan State.
They take care of the football, they'll win.
Iowa 49, Michigan State 7. Minnesota at Illinois.
I don't know. I like Illinois. Minnesota's not been playing well. Illinois, well, they never play
I'll bounce
well,
back at some time.
I like them. I like them at home.
Minnesota 41, Illinois 14. Liberty at Virginia Tech.
Do the Holyfields end the Liberty's year?
You got it. It'll be over. If they were playing at Liberty, maybe, but you're going to Virginia Tech. That's a tough place to play.
Hokies favored by 16.5, Terry.
They cover the spread.
They're gonna hit them so hard they're gonna turn them into liberals.
Liberty 38, Virginia Tech 35. Maryland at Penn State.
Maryland's terrible.
I love
quarterback.
Maryland did win last week.
That's what I'm saying. Maryland's got to win.
They
do have a
win.
win.
They beat Minnesota.
They did beat Minnesota. He threw 5 touchdowns that game.
That's your Big Ten.
And Minnesota's favored this week.
Yeah, but Penn State.
They just overestimated.
Penn State at home, though. I'm going to take Penn State at home.
Maryland 35, Penn State 19. Notre Dame at Clemson.
I like Clemson. I mean, I think they're the best team in the country, even with Lawrence out.
There's no Clemson wins. Their defense will show up this week and stop the Fighting Irish.
Home team. This is just disrespectful. I'm going Notre Dame. They're going to come out here and be a whole. Listen, and Notre Dame is a whole lot better than Boston College is.
Save that for your.
Yeah. This is
when Clemson wins by 30.
Save this for if Clemson loses.
Notre Dame 47, Clemson 40.
Florida versus Georgia. In Jacksonville.
I like Georgia. I think Georgia.
I'll let everybody pick his top 25 matchup. Terry, what you got?
Oh, on this one?
Yeah, we'll go across
I
the
got
board
Georgia. Yeah.
Go Dogs.
Favored by 3. I guess everybody's picking them to cover if you're picking them that easily.
Yeah.
Yes.
Florida 44, Georgia 28.
Miami Dolphins at Arizona Cardinals.
I'm taking Kyler. I'm taking Kyler Murray.
All right.
I'm taking
favored by
Kyler
4.5.
Murray and the Cardinals. Tom, we're riding your little Cardinals bandwagon this year.
Dolphins 34, Cardinals 31. Patriots at the Jets.
Jets. Get in the win column.
It's flat.
Patriots 30, Jets 27. New Orleans Saints at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Also, turns out that they're full force at wide receiver this week. Chris Godwin will play, as well as Mike Evans, and Antonio Brown has been activated. I'm taking Tampa Bay.
And finally,
but I guess I have to go with the Bucs at home. They're probably going to win this game.
And that's me also. I don't like Tom Brady, but he has all of a sudden showed Belichick, I can win and you're not winning. So, and they do have a decent defense at Tampa Bay.
And while we're here, let's talk about this Saints and Bucs game. This is what we call a trap game. And I say that because everybody wanted us to lose. Everybody was rooting against us. I think some people was even praying for us to lose. But, hey, it happens sometimes. We still 6-3. And whoever pick against us, that's all I can say. A head shake. Play some mortuary music. Maybe put a ship in the background while I'm talking right now, shooting off the cannons. See, what happened was, I'm gonna give us I got my own theory of the reason. We was at a buffet. Saints 38, Bucks 3. Cheated.
Hello, this is Milton Baker inviting you to listen to exciting Tar Heel Sports right here on WCSL, WLON, WOHS, and KTCBroadcasting.com.
I think people are going to listen to me and say, whatever Tom said.
I sat here and admitted right now, I had a bad week last week.
That reminded me of being in the judicial processes class with a professor named Saul Brenner, who would always ask me how I interpreted a certain case. And he said, well, all we have to do is take what Tom said, reverse it, and we have the correct answer. That I brought back bad memories from sophomore judicial process.
Tom, what makes it so bad? That was last week.
I know. That was brutal.
That wasn't even funny. Even put
brutal.
on there.
That was brutal. That was brutal. I think everybody at ESPN kind of just breathed a sigh of relief after that.
No, what it is that you don't see any other shows do that and point out how bad and they'll sit there and argue to the death over something before a game.
And they'll sit
you
there.
never see the next day like, hey, look what you said today.
Yeah, you were wrong. True. And then they'll never see them say, yeah, I was just wrong. They're usually like, well, see, this is why I was wrong. It's not just, I was wrong. It's
I
like,
thought that was fun to do because when you say something with so much confidence. Like Hunter here is so confident.
Listen, you cannot waver. You cannot waver.
Hunter's gonna give his picks with his chest.
I remember watching that Georgia game. I was like, oh god.
Oh yeah, I remember watching it too.
So to review, we had 13 games. I didn't get one of Terry's on there. He picked a Washington Giants game. He got wrong, and then I totally forgot. I didn't put the NASCAR picks at all. And so I guess we didn't know nobody picked Chase, so it didn't matter. Patriots and Jets, Saints and Bucks, Dolphins and Cardinals, Tar Heels and Blue Devils, Colorado and UCLA, Indiana, Michigan, Iowa, Michigan State, Washington, Oregon State, Liberty, Virginia Tech. Tom said Virginia Tech's going to hit them so hard they're going to turn them into liberals.
Yeah, but no, the coach lost that game. The coach lost that game to Virginia, to Liberty.
That's awesome.
Because they blocked
the field goal.
Yeah, a field goal and run it back for a touchdown. But the coach from Virginia Tech had called timeout.
Unbelievable. Couldn't make it up. Couldn't make it up.
Couldn't make it up.
Couldn't make it up.
Didn't that happen? Wasn't that kind of like App State, Michigan? Didn't we block 2 field goals or something? When it was a timeout or something? There's something weird about that, too. Anyway, Notre Dame, Clemson, Maryland, Penn State, Minnesota, Illinois. The funny ones when y'all were like, no, you put that down. No, you put that down.
I just love it. And, don't get me wrong. I hate it for Clemson that they lost. If you're an ACC fan, that's the last thing you wanted to see happen. The Fighting Irish to beat them. Because Fighting Irish all of a sudden decides, hey, buddy, this year we're going to play for the title. And then you go beat Clemson. I have a hard time with that.
They banged up. I didn't realize how many guys Clemson had out on defense. They were banged up.
See, these are things you got to know before we make the picks, Tom.
Well, Clemson was still a 6-point favorite.
That's what I'm saying.
I know, and that's why I thought it was disrespectful.
Yeah.
The Fighting Irish showed they couldn't stop nobody because Clemson scored on them with a backup quarterback.
So that's a pretty doggone good backup quarterback.
Yeah, he is. He is. I agree.
If you think about
he'd be starting anywhere else. You're right.
If you think about it, he'd starting anywhere else right now, probably last year too. Not only that, that doesn't surprise me because when we talk about
playing safety at Carolina,
when we talk about these quarterbacks, these backups at Clemson, Alabama, and all these Power Fives, like the guys that usually make the playoffs, it's never rebuild. It's always reload. It's just next man up. He's always ready.
There's a kid at Alabama,
Mac Jones.
Yeah, last year's. Oh man. You got a big drop off. He's coming in for 2. He's tearing it up this year.
Yeah, he's having the Joe Burrow type year.
Yeah. So, you got to remember these major college football programs. It's like they get 10 number 1 draft picks every year. So
some of them do. Yeah. Some of them do. Especially if you're the Alabamas and the Clemsons, you get the 5-star recruits, and everybody else in your own conference, maybe not.
Tiger Birdie's 15 with 3 to go. Now at -5. Lead is still at 9 as far as I know right now.
Yeah, it's at 9.
Okay. So
doesn't like it. No.
The new rankings: Alabama 1, Notre Dame 2, Ohio State 3, Clemson 4, A&M 5, Florida 6, and Cincinnati 7, BYU 8. Hunter, you had a problem there, didn't you?
Yeah, I got a big problem. You got 7 and 8 with Cincinnati and BYU. Last week they were ranked 6th and 7th. So what happens? I get Georgia lost, so Florida should move up. I get that. And Georgia should fall back. And we knew Clemson would probably only fall back to 4th because that's their first loss on the season. It was to
first regular season loss since 2007.
With a backup quarterback.
Exactly. So we knew they weren't going to fall far. But Cincinnati and BYU won. I don't like it when undefeateds that are that high and all you're asking them to do, because that's what the committee wants you to do. You got to win to get in. That's been college football's motto for years. You go undefeated, we'll give you an opportunity, maybe. And that's they're doing what they're being asked, which is to win, and they fall back a spot. Both of them fall back a spot. No. Florida should be behind both BYU and Cincinnati with the 1 loss, and especially Texas A&M. Should be back there as well. Yeah, Florida's only loss is to Texas A&M, but Texas A&M's only loss is to Alabama. Right. And then we go back and forth. How I like to say, in college, they always talk about you have good losses and bad losses. A good loss would be, well, you're favored to lose against this team. Guess what? You lost. You were supposed to. or you're Georgia playing Florida last week, you're favored, and you don't win that game. That's a bad loss. So for me, I hate that the Power 5, and don't get me wrong, I love watching SEC football, ACC football, Big Ten football more than anybody. But they're just showing no respect to what BYU and Cincinnati are putting on the field. None. None.
Cincinnati's been just destroying people.
They've put 55 up last night on ECU.
Yeah, but you're playing East Carolina.
East Carolina's not very
And that's what they'll all
yeah,
say.
I know.
But at the same time, I can't help if I'm the powerhouse of my conference and everybody else cupcakes. You could make the same argument for Clemson these past few years. What'd they put, 70 up on Georgia Tech this year? Was that really a ball game?
What's going to hurt them is they don't have, usually Cincinnati will get a pretty high-profile non-conference game. Like they played Ohio State one year. They don't get a chance to get like a high-profile SEC or ACC.
No, because they got to play their conference.
They got to play their conference, so that's going to hurt them this year.
And I'm with you 100%. I'm the same way. I think Cincinnati, I don't know about BYU. BYU got to show me a little bit more. But Cincinnati, to me, and it's kind of hard for me to watch coaches get on there and go, oh, they wouldn't be in your top 4. How do you know? You cannot sit here and tell me they couldn't compete with a Clemson, Notre Dame, Alabama, or whoever.
And what's their definition of compete? I mean, did they think Georgia Tech was really competing against Clemson when it was 60-something to 20? Yeah. 70-something to 20. What's their definition of compete? Just because they might not only win the game or be within 3 points to a touchdown doesn't mean they didn't compete. If Cincinnati was to go out there and play, let's say Clemson, full-strength Clemson right now, and were to get beat by 20, is that not something we would have expected anyways? But they competed, and say the score was 40-20. Clemson still let them score 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
so they were good enough.
I think the ACC got what they wanted for Fighting Irish to win, because then that bumps them up there. So you don't think Clemson's going to fall out because Trevor Lawrence is going to be back. They're going to roll through and win the ACC next time they do play. And then you're not going to fall Fighting Irish too far back because they lost to Clemson. That's what's going to happen here, and you're going to have 2 teams from the ACC that are going to make it now instead of 2 from the SEC.
Maybe. Notre Dame, I'd have to look at what they have on the remaining schedule. If they lose the second one, or they lose the first one, I think they're done.
Carolina's hopes for them making it was for the Fighting Irish to get beat, because Carolina still got Notre Dame and Miami in front of them to play.
Yes.
That's what they were hoping, and since the Fighting Irish
I don't think North Carolina was going to. I didn't think they were going to get into the ACC championship game. I thought they had a good opportunity since they were taking the top 2 this year. But with those losses, obviously
they can't get in.
Not anymore, unless Notre Dame was to fall apart, and then somebody with 2 losses would have to get in. But then North Carolina couldn't afford to lose another one. So I don't think they're making an ACC championship game. The rest of the season is just to play hard and to try and win out. For me, though, in the ACC, what's going to be so bad, Terry, is I don't know if they will take 2 ACC teams, because you got to watch what the Pac-12 does. Because think about it, you got one loss at Notre Dame and 1 loss Clemson. If Clemson beats Notre Dame in the ACC championship game, you might also have a 1-loss team that wins the Big 12. So do you take technically the second place person from the ACC, or do you take the 1-loss conference champion from the Big 12? This is where things get a little dicey about, where they split. I feel like everything is against Notre Dame.
I don't think no conference is getting 2 in. I just don't think that's going to happen this year. I mean, I just think.
Well, Tom, you've heard me about what your conference is. I don't even think none of y'all should make it, but hey.
So Ohio State shouldn't make it. No, they're terrible.
You went from playing 8 games this year. Now you're only playing 7.
It's not our fault. It's not our fault that Maryland doesn't know how to wear masks and wash their hands.
It's not your fault that your conference couldn't even decide if they wanted to play this time or not. If you guys were going to stick to it and play in the springtime, you wouldn't even be in consideration for college football.
And that's the only reason y'all jumped back in it, the Big Ten, was on account of everybody else started playing. Y'all was like, oh, no, we messed up. Let's get back in this because we're not going to be able to play for a championship.
Well, maybe we were trying to be cautious and not help spread the pandemic.
Well, the Pac-12 is looking the same way too. I don't think anybody from the Pac-12 should make it. Seriously, the Pac-12 has already canceled 4 different games for this weekend.
Well, the thing is, y'all may not know, but if you don't play at least 6 games, you can't even make the Big Ten championship game. So somebody might screw them and say, "Oh, well, we're not going to play them," so they can't make it. So I just don't think.
See, and it just comes back to my argument when it first came out that you guys were starting up, but only playing. I would respect it more if you would have started a little bit closer when everybody else did, and were playing at least 10 games. But there's a big drop between you playing now only 7 games and the SEC, ACC, and Big 12 teams playing 11 to 10 games.
There's a big difference.
That's a big difference. It's the same conversation we were having when we didn't think the Cardinals were going to be able to make up their games.
Well, that's what I was having last week when Boise State's playing a team. They've played 7, and and the other team is playing ain't played but 2. There's a huge difference in daggum on field.
You're going to have to take exception in this year. This is an unusual situation.
Should I, though?
This isn't every
Should
year.
I?
He's so silly.
This isn't every year. This is a 1-year deal.
This is a 1-year deal, so I think you can miss it for 1 year and give Cincinnati the spot.
Give Cincinnati the spot. Well,
you still get a team from Ohio?
I don't think Cincinnati's going to make it either, but I do think.
Why should they not, Tom? They're unbeaten.
I think Tom would like to see them.
I wouldn't mind. I mean, if they make it, it's fine, especially if they get in front of Notre Dame. That's fine with me. Notre Dame is a joke, and just only 1 year they're going to play in the conference. How do you do that? I'm going to play in the conference 1 year, then I'm back and back out. That's a bunch of crap.
Yeah, I think BYU's in the same spot. They're in the same spot we always say about Notre Dame. You're undefeated, but you're an independent right now. If you were part of a conference, you might be getting more looks of possibly moving up in the ranking.
It's going to help Notre Dame this year. They get to play. They're playing in the championship game. They're not going to beat Clemson again. We know if Clemson gets healthy, Clemson's going to beat them soundly in that ACC championship.
The ACC gives money to little sisters of the poor, and Tom hates on them. So.
Yeah,
poor Irish up there in Indiana.
The poor Irish
South Bend,
hoard
Indiana.
their money. Everybody knows. Everybody knows Notre Dame's hoarding their money. So.
All right, let's make some more bad picks. How about that?
Yes.
Real quick, let me go down the rankings.
Think about these a little bit more this week.
Well, maybe
maybe
if you're not sure, Hunter, you shouldn't say it as confident.
No, you cannot waver. You can't waver in the pick game. Right. You can't.
Well,
you have to just be set in stone.
We got to 8. Miami's 9. Indiana cracks the top 10. Oregon 11. Georgia to 12. Wisconsin 13. Oklahoma State 14. The Fancy Chickens of Coastal Carolina are 15. Marshall 16. Iowa State 17. Oklahoma 18. SMU 19. USC 20. Texas 21. Liberty 22. Northwestern 23. Auburn 24. And Louisiana Raging Cajuns are back in at 25.
Cajun.
North Carolina's at 26 in both polls, 1 spot out. Appalachian is 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 30, 35. And then Terry, should App be ranked ahead of Carolina? App's their only losses to Marshall, who's 16th. Carolina's both their losses are to 2 unranked teams who aren't doing too well. None of Carolina's victories are, quote, impressive. App beat them on the field last time they played. Should Appalachian not be ranked higher than the North Carolina
Well, I always
Tar
like
Heels?
it when you give me them questions.
I know. I'm going to get a good answer,
yeah,
I think.
Because Appalachian should be ahead of Carolina.
Right.
Exactly. That's how it should be.
Right.
And I don't like Carolina anyway. So, I mean, I can make that simple.
Simple enough.
Well, I could have
guessed what that
Tom,
was
what do you think? Being in all his seriousness, did I lay out a good
Impartially.
case for why Appalachian should not be be ranked ahead of?
I think Appalachian should. I think Carolina's a little shaky on defense sometimes. And,
Everybody's shaky on defense this year.
They're not consistent. It's like the Florida State game. Mm-hmm. The first half they look like a bunch of bums. The second half they almost came back and won that game. So they're just not real consistent. And Appalachian State has only lost 1 game to a ranked opponent. So the case closed that Appalachian should be ranked ahead of Carolina.
Now, so no matter how bad your picks are, those both opinions will be quoted in next week's picks.
Right.
For talking about Appalachian.
Bad
Good
picks.
job.
Well,
I got him
just
to say
be
one good
careful.
thing.
You know,
Bad takes.
We was talking about last week, and don't get me wrong, I did take Virginia Tech, and then the coach blew the game, and they lost, and Liberty wins. You know, North Carolina State got Liberty next week. So.
Yeah.
Well, Terry, since you brought up Virginia Tech and blowing it, I'll let you start with them. Virginia Tech host Miami. Guys, listen to this. Virginia Tech is hosting the number 9 team in the country, who Virginia Tech has lost to Liberty. Virginia Tech's favored by 2.5.
Home
Yeah,
team
that's
usually
scary.
gets 3.
What
so.
in
Is
the
it
world?
not?
I'm still taking Miami. If that was me.
Shouldn't you? Shouldn't anybody? If you're telling me the top 10 team in the nation can't go on the road and beat a unranked team that just lost to Liberty?
Unless something is like hidden, nobody else knows about. Vegas knows that like Miami's maybe missing a bunch of starters.
Where was that Virginia Tech Liberty game? Was that
At
Virginia
Virginia
Tech?
Tech.
Virginia
Yeah.
Tech.
Liberty came in and beat them. They don't think the 9th ranked Hurricanes of Miami.
Derek King's played really good at the quarterback position.
What is Virginia Tech doing to get these lines like this?
Well, I'm going to put it like this. You blew me last week. I'll not pick you this week. So I'm taking Miami to beat them. And now watch it, because I got a feeling this game right here is going to be one of them 50-40 games, because I don't think neither defense is going to stop the other. Now watch it, and they play, and the final score's like 17-10. You know?
He's paranoid now about these
Yeah,
picks.
it's exactly right. There you go.
Terry, we'll get to one in a minute. I need to go back to last week's pick. You almost nailed. I think one of the games you said was going to be 51-10 or 7. It was 51-10. Yeah, he missed by a field goal. Like
Marshall.
Was that the one?
Yeah.
He almost nailed that one, and I was like, wow, good call, Terry. I meant to give you credit for that one.
Good guess.
And
Terry.
we didn't have that on there. Great pick.
Terry, that segment was called Bad Picks.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, Tom, Mr. Big Ten, Indiana, 7.5-point favorites at Michigan State. Sparty, do they upset the Hoosiers and ruin their year? It's 26 degrees right now in East Lansing.
The thing is Michigan State, every time I think they're going to start playing well, they just crap the bed. And then Indiana, every time I've picked against them, it's like, okay, well, it's time for Indiana to fizzle out. Well, they beat Penn State. They weren't that good. They beat Michigan. Michigan's not that good. But I don't know. I think there's something about this Indiana team where they're starting to play with confidence. And a lot of times, once you're number 10, now all the eyes are on you. You can go up to Michigan State and get beat, right? So since Indiana's playing well, and they've proved, even though some of the teams aren't as good as I thought they were, Terry, that Michigan State, after they beat Michigan, but, they turned the ball over 7 times against Rutgers. I mean, which Michigan State team is going to show up? So I'm just going to go with the safe pick and say Indiana goes up to Michigan State, beats them, and is setting up that showdown with Ohio State.
Let me ask you something, Tom. When you speaking of the Big Ten and you seen at Penn State, which I say Penn State's overranked every year. That's just me. I just don't think that
you're
they're
totally
that
unbiased opinion. I understand.
And here's Michigan. Both of those are top-notch teams out of the Big Ten, and they've fallen down. And don't you like new blood being at the top?
I mean, Indiana's got a good coach. I mean, their kids are playing hard, and they've got a chip on their shoulders. They hadn't been good in a long time.
Yeah.
They hadn't beaten Michigan since '87.
Yeah,
1987, Terry. I bet 1987, you can probably still pick up women in 1987. That's how long ago that's been, Terry.
I can only name, and I don't even want to get into what that just was. The only Indiana Hoosier football player I can name off the top of my head in history is Antoine Randall.
Randall.
I honestly can't think of any others.
Yeah, there's been a few.
Cody Zeller.
Yeah,
he's not a football player.
I can't think of any off the top of my head, but
right.
their program's coming around.
So Middle Tennessee at Marshall. Marshall favored by 24. Marshall cover, win, all that good stuff.
Yes.
Okay. We'll go from there. How about back over to Terry, Mr. Liberty expert. They host Western Carolina today in Lynchburg, Virginia. Do the Catamounts ruin the Liberty? What is the Eagles?
Can I,
Tom,
let me
no, don't you interrupt me. I like these right here because this ought to be simple. Liberty by a lot.
There is no spread right now.
I have a soft spot for Western Carolina. I saw Coach Ron Green last night at the Gaffney game, and Jay Guillermo, his grandson, former Mr. Football at Tennessee, national champion at Clemson. He was at Georgia State, but he's gone up there to Western Carolina. I believe his grandfather told me he was coaching the tight ends. So I wish Jay, good luck up there. I hope he's doing well. I think he's going to have a bad day today, though.
Yes.
I think it's going to be a bad day for him. But I'm glad to see some of our, I say he's local. He was at Burns, and he went, his family moved to Tennessee. Came down to Clemson. His grandfather, was at Coach Burns for years and years and years, state champions in '94. So I'd really like to see Western Carolina pull the upset, but I don't think that's going to happen today, Terry.
Good luck to Jay. I hope Western Carolina
Good
loses
kid.
every
Good
game they ever play. Go Mountaineers.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
The wannabe Mountaineers, Tom.
Yes, I know.
All right, so South Alabama. Tommy, you're an Alabama. You're a Southern expert. How about South Alabama at the Louisiana Cajuns? Louisiana favored by 15.
How do I get this game?
I don't know.
I just
Sure there wasn't a line for it.
I just know that Louisiana's playing well. I think I saw Southern Alabama get beat by like 41-7 last week or something. They don't seem to be playing real well. I'm going to go with the Cajun of Louisiana.
Going with the Water Boys.
Yes,
Notre Dame at Boston College. Hunter.
Notre Dame.
11.5 point favorites.
At BC?
At BC.
I don't know. I think it could be a trap game because they play Carolina the following week. And, Carolina, you never know what you're going to get with Carolina. This could be a trap game at Chestnut Hill.
It's 41 degrees in Massachusetts.
Yeah, it could be a trap game.
I'd still take Notre Dame.
Cover 11?
No.
So it's actually a battle of Catholic schools. Who's more Catholic?
Notre
Boston
Dame.
I don't want to watch whatever that competition is.
I think Notre Dame.
Whoever's more Catholic.
I think Notre Dame are faux Catholics. I think Boston College is the real.
I don't know. They do
weird.
have football Jesus out there
Come on, they
at
got
Notre
their
Dame
own
Stadium.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to Tom for this one. USC Trojans, 14.5 point favorites out in Arizona. This is their first game.
Their first game?
1-0 versus 0-0.
Their first game?
Mm-hmm.
They got canceled or canceled.
This is
last
Western
week.
Carolina's first game.
Western Carolina is also
7-0
playing.
Liberty.
Y'all do know that the 1AAs are playing in the spring too. They can play whatever they want in the fall non-conference, and they play their conference in the spring.
Is that the truth?
Yeah, so that's what's
Well, see, there's something else I did not know, and I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Why should Liberty at 7-0 be playing Western Carolina, who has not played a game? Can Western not find somebody else to play?
Terry,
To
a bunch
start
of
the
these,
year?
a bunch of these schools are only playing their own conference games. So if
Yeah, but
if
you
you
have
had
to
to
start
fill
out for
that,
Liberty. Come on.
Which game am I picking?
That's USC Arizona.
USC Arizona.
USC by 14.5.
I don't like USC, but I like them in this game.
All right, Terry, Arkansas at Florida. Do the Razorbacks ruin the SEC Florida Gators run? Florida, though, favored by 17.5.
Well, let me tell you what you just got through saying. You said Arkansas at Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's it. That's the ball game. Florida wins easy.
Gators eat the pigs. Is that what you're going with?
No problem.
Hunter, the Ducks of Oregon at the Cougars of Washington State.
give me Oregon.
Oregon's favored by 10.5.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think on the cover?
Yeah, I think they'll cover. I think they'll cover 10.5.
Tom, Northwestern at Purdue. Northwestern ranked number 23. Both teams are undefeated. Northwestern favored by 3.
You ever say both teams are playing well? Northwestern's got Patrick Ramsey, who was at Indiana, transferred. I'm not sure if he's a graduate transfer or what. It seems like he probably is a graduate transfer. But they're playing well. Fitz has got them playing well at Northwestern. Northwestern's kind of I'm not like Hunter. I'm not like a Northwestern fan, but I like to see Northwestern do well.
You couldn't be a Northwestern fan anyways. They're in your own conference.
No, but
that's the rule.
No, that's he comes
He's
up with
got
a
a rule now.
He's got a rule now. So
you went.
So Northwestern's kind of my team that my brother and I always pull. We kind of like Northwestern, but Purdue's playing well too. So
yeah.
Where's the game being played?
Purdue, wherever that's at. West Lafayette,
Indiana. I'm still going with Northwestern. Who's the favorite? Northwestern by
3 on the road.
It's close.
West Lafayette.
It's going to be a good game. It's close.
He's worried it's going to be cut for next week. The way he's wavering on that.
You can't waver. You just got to go.
I didn't. I went with Northwestern.
You just got to go.
Say it with your chest, Tom.
You just got to go.
SMU at Tulsa. SMU, number 19, 7-1. Only favored by 1 on the road with an over-under at 64.5.
Yeah, that's what you're going to run into. How many points each one of them going to score? But Tulsa's a tough place for other people to come and play, but SMU will win on the road.
All right, let's see. Hunter. Oh, God, we have nothing but postponements and cancels after that.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
Yeah.
last game, I was all like,
The
I got one
SEC's
more
not
game.
even playing, Artie.
No.
There are 6 top 25 ranked
Y'all
teams
talked
that
about
are
the
not
Big Ten
playing.
this whole
Because
time.
of
Now the
COVID.
SEC.
That's what I'm saying.
Ain't that right,
SEC's
Tom?
not
This is
even
your
playing.
chance to needle the SEC folks.
Wow.
Yeah, look at it.
They complaining about the Big Ten not
Yeah.
playing. Now the
Yeah.
SEC
My
shut the
God.
conference down.
1, 2, 3.
Arkansas and Florida's
4.
playing.
So Alabama and Auburn aren't playing?
No.
No, it's
Alabama and
postponed.
LSU.
But see, here's the difference. This is why you can't come at the SEC. Postponed. Ohio State, Maryland canceled. Not even retrying to.
They have extra.
Now here's the Arizona State and UCLA.
Tell the committee.
Canceled.
Tell the committee.
What?
Not to be
Canceled.
told.
Wait a minute,
one more
honey.
game real quick.
Canceled.
This is when you start late. You have no time to make it up.
All right.
Tell the committee. Tell the committee
Yeah.
to postpone their thing 2 weeks.
All right. Since I need tape,
You tell them.
I'll let
Yeah.
all
Mr.
three.
Big
I'll let
Ten.
all
What else
three
they
of you
got
pick.
to do?
I'll let all three of you pick this one real quick. Wisconsin
Dang, they decided to play a game.
at Michigan. Wisconsin
Ooh,
by
that's scary.
5. It's 14 degrees in Ann Arbor.
That's Wisconsin. That fits them. Wisconsin, not to mention, is 2-3 weeks later than the Big Ten even started. They're rested.
Yeah, they are arrested.
I'm going to go ahead and pick since y'all are too busy talking about other stuff.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, I'm taking Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
All righty.
The way
Now-
JP. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say,
JP, it's your turn.
does Harbaugh, does he
We
walk
gotta go.
himself out of the
Turn
building?
for what?
It's your turn
He's-
to play to play.
I like him up there. I
It's your
hope
turn
he
to sit up
stays.
and do your
Yeah,
job.
I'm sure you do.
Tom's Coach Pruitt says, "Tell Tom I said thanks." He graduated high school in '87. Ian Thomas, Panthers tight end, played at Indiana, so he knew an Indiana football player. If anybody
okay.
knows them.
Okay.
All right, JP. It's,
Well, I want to say one more thing.
Go ahead.
Shannon, our hearts are with you. He just
Right.
sent me a text.
Yeah, I just sent one to him too.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, just like I sent you, buddy, I don't know what you're going through. There's no way I can even visualize you, man. Again, my prayers. I've been praying for you, your son, everybody. That's something, and that's tough. I do not care for that for anybody. Hey, again, we love you, man. Anything that we can do, you let us know. But he did send me a text. He said, "Who's more Catholic?" He said, "Charlotte Catholic." And we agree with
Notre
that.
Dame's faux Catholic.
Well, right?
They're faux
And
Catholic.
so, and for Shannon and the family, anything
Yeah.
anything that I'm sure that everyone in the KTC family could do for you guys, UNCJ and the family, just let us know. Prayers for his family, for the folks out there.
Yeah.
JP, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back, and we're going to pick. We've got NFL games. We've got NBA mock draft. We got to pick the guys, and we're going to give you Masters updates. Round 2 is finishing up right now as we speak
Check out
on
the hat,
KTCBroadcasting.com.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could go look at a new car or truck and you didn't have to worry about getting caught up in those games that waste half your day? Well, Friendship Nissan and Friendship Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Forest City is different because we're fast, easy, and transparent. We have over 300 new and used vehicles on the ground with clear choice pricing and the region's only non-commissioned sales force, and a free lifetime warranty on every new car. You better believe Friendship Nissan and Friendship Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram is different, and you can find us in Forest City.
Plumbing problems? Well, if you're not an expert plumber, then we invite you to call the Expert Plumbers. That's Olmsted Plumbing in Forest City. Just call 828-245-7302. Recommended since 1973. From faucets to sinks to toilets, from sewer and drains to well pumps, from dishwashers to disposals to bathroom remodeling, residential and commercial, new homes too. Don't let your plumbing problems drive you plumb crazy. Call Olmsted Plumbing in Forest City, 828-245-7302, or visit the website at olmstedplumbing.com.
Duke plays here.
To the pylon, touchdown! What? And it's scooped up by the Blue Devils. 10-5, touchdown!
We have you covered all season long for the excitement of Blue Devil football.
Delayed handoff, not gonna work. Wow, what a hit in the backfield. Bat it down. Duke wins it.
On your home for Duke football.
On the Boss, WHS in Shelby and WLON in Lincoln. Online at KTCBroadcasting.com.
You're listening to the Wolfman Jack.
I tell you, when I was a little kid, I was brought up listening to Alan Freed.
Wolfman Jack.
When I was just getting started, the hip thing was to say, what's happening, Jack? Hey, Jack, what's going on? So that was the hip slang, So being a horror classic freak like I am, I chose the Wolfman because it was a very animal-sounding name, and the name Jack because of the hip slang. What's happening, Jack? Because Jack always knew what was happening. You understand what I mean? Wolfman, Jack.
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday mornings, 10 a.m. to 12 noon on The Balls. WOHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, and online at kdcbroadcasting.com.
Take advantage of a special offer on the versatile Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor. Switching attachments is simple, and a smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation. The Kubota BX Series, the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. for over 10 years. You own the land. Now, make it yours. Get the Kubota BX 2380 for payments as low as $99 a month.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive, off Highway 74 at Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain. It's time to shop and save at Kirk's Premium Outlet in the Eastridge Mall in Gastonia. 2 big floors of savings, including Dakota-backed adjustable bar stools, $60 each. Robinson adjustable height bar stools, $17.50 each. Wire wall shoe racks are $27.50. Kirk's Premium Outlet has queen-size bamboo sheets for $15 a set. Children's room rugs, size 52 by 69 inches for $35 each, and Hamilton Beach toaster ovens with roll top for only $29. That's Kirk's Premium Outlet, Eastridge Mall in Gastonia. Like them on Facebook too.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with the guys.
It's tough while everybody's getting drunk. Yeah, maybe.
Possibility.
Patrick Reed's a good golfer, and everybody else full of daiquiris.
Yeah.
Paul Casey backs up to -5. Right now, our leaders are Answer, Smith, Thomas, Johnson, and Rahm at 9 under as the second round is finishing up. It'll be over. Should be over before our show's over, so we give a final update on that before round 3 kicks off. Tom, so you said 10:30?
10:30
is tee off
10:30
for round 3. So
yep.
With half the field gone, they should be able to get that round in the second part of the day, hopefully. So we'll have a full Sunday of nothing but Sunday golf. It's time for us, though. This week, Hunter, it's NBA draft. Fortunes and fames will change for teams. Will some teams, will the Hornets somehow make a change and things like that?
Will they somehow mess it up? Absolutely.
There's a higher than odds, yes, that they will. But we're going to, real quick, I want to touch on a couple things before. We're going to do our little mock ourselves. And we're going to go around the table and pick some players. But first, some news around the NBA. Trade rumors abound. In Boston, Terry, we mentioned earlier, Kemba and Gordon Hayward. Anything specific you would want or like to see? The Kemba rumor is for Drew Holiday in New Orleans. Hayward is for Miles Turner, maybe in Indiana, big man. So just thoughts on what you think maybe the Celtics might or could do here, or what you want.
Listen,
to do.
Danny Ainge always doing something.
Yeah, he's always doing something. All right, let's don't mess something up. Kemba, hey, we can give or take without him. Same thing with when we had Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
They just not the spot that we need. We don't need that on our team. We don't need a point guard who's going to score a ton of points, and we got other guys who can score.
Well,
Boston
the way y'all run
that.
y'all's offense, you let the wings.
Yeah, that's what I'm
initiate
saying.
the offense at the top of the key a
that's
lot.
The reason we kind of missed Terry Rozier when we got Kemba for him. Terry Rozier was more of a Boston player than Kemba or Kyrie. Either one were. So I can see getting rid of Kemba. I don't know about Hayward. Man, we need to keep him. I just think he feels slots.
If you get rid of Kemba, why? I don't understand why you trade straight up point guard for point guard. It's not like Marcus Smart can't just come in there and run the floor.
Y'all need a power forward or center that can get some buckets underneath.
Yeah, we do. We do, because we saw that this past year. Our middle could not stop anybody. But who do you go get? You got to find somebody willing to give somebody up. And it's got to be somebody who can score. You know what I'm saying? We don't need people in the middle who cannot score.
Well, you can trade Kemba for the number 3 pick and
send him back to Charlotte. The big ones are gone. The guys are gone at number 3.
And y'all can get something else.
Yeah. Send Kemba back to Charlotte.
Charlotte turning that down. Speaking of turning it down, rumors this week as far as the Rockets are concerned, Westbrook wants out. And there's some saying that Harden may too / just start the whole organization over. we can dream about all the different types of places for Harden, but let's concentrate on Westbrook for a minute. He's owed $38 million, which is going to be tough for money-wise.
Yes.
Because he's 32 years old. He doesn't shoot a great three-point percentage. So one of the rumors was for the Hornets trading Terry Rozier and Biyombo and a future protected top 10 first pick. So if they're in the top 10, it wouldn't go to him. But that Westbrook may have turned that he doesn't want to come to Charlotte. So, but if he did come, people are arguing online whether or not that's true or not. People are arguing online whether that'd be good for Charlotte, and I don't see why it wouldn't be, because one, what do we have to lose? First of all, we haven't had anybody that can score 20 points. If he gets us in the playoffs in the East, how hard is the East, Terry, to get in the playoffs?
That's pretty easy for you to
seven
make
and eight
the playoffs.
seed. 7 and 8 seed is nothing. Now, when you talking about the top twos, we're not talking about that. But what Russell Westbrook can get the Hornets into a 7-6 seed.
He did it with Oklahoma City.
That's
right
what
in
I was
the
getting ready to
West.
say.
He did it in the West by himself. He surely can do it in the East. But then if you keep the 3 pick, obviously, and clear the money. So this is what it is. You basically get 3 years of Westbrook if you're the Hornets. And then he can walk. And you can trade him. You spend 2 years selling some fans, giving fans something to watch, Hunter.
Listen, I would go down there to watch Russell Westbrook.
Would
he was the draw in Oklahoma City.
And here's the thing. I've been a Hornets fan a long time. Technically, am I right on this? Would he not be the second he steps on that court the best player they've ever had?
Ever?
He's an MVP, ain't he? Triple-double 3 straight years.
Larry Johnson.
Neither one of those are Russell Westbrook.
Yeah. Well,
you could argue
time.
You could argue it.
3 straight triple-doubles. Did he win an MVP? I can't remember if he
did. Won an MVP.
Hornets ain't never had an MVP. The best MVP we've had is Glenn Rice in the All-Star game.
I will say this. If they could pull this trade off and pull him in, it would look good for the team, because then that would show that the team kind of has a winning mentality by bringing in someone that wants to compete as hard as he is. Who knows? He might have the Michael, because Michael loves Russ, because Russ reminds Michael of himself attitude-wise and how he played on the court. And that might be something that Michael would like to see in the locker room, kind of pushing these guys, saying, I'm not just going to sit here and settle for losses.
Does him and Graham play good together?
No. Graham is a volume shooter at the same time, unless he wants to take a step back and realizes as soon as Russell Westbrook shows up, if any thought in Graham's brain was, this is my team now, no, it's not. As soon as Westbrook steps on the court, this is Russell Westbrook's team. That's just how it is. Same thing when LeBron goes anywhere he is. I'm sorry, this is LeBron's team now. He's just that kind of... the only reason why I just don't know if it works is because they're both volume guys.
Right.
They both want to get their shots up.
But as far as
we've seen this though, and now that's what I mean by it would look good for Charlotte.
Office.
You would have at least a star where you could say, "Hey, we've got Russell here. Would you not want to just, even if it's for a year, make a pit stop here to another big name?" You can do something like that. That's the problem.
Once you get Russell,
everybody looks at the name, not Hornets. They look the city, Charlotte.
Right.
Oh, I want to go to Charlotte? Really? Charlotte?
Charlotte's an up-and-coming town. What are you talking about?
We
but
believe
that's the problem.
that.
Yeah, I mean, we want to say that, but I mean, people
There's
don't
a lot
want
of
to come here and
moving
play.
here from all over the country.
Kobe Bryant never wanted to play there.
Yeah, if you're a multimillionaire NBA player,
it's not a culture town.
Right. It's not Miami. It's not
You can't
LA.
just walk down the street and nobody be like, "Oh my God, there's that 7-footer that plays for the Hornets." Oh,
yeah, they like to,
Well, Russell Westbrook is 32 years old.
Right. That's why I think it's a decent chance for the Hornets. Listen, let me read you some salaries, okay, before we start worrying about what we're paying Russell Westbrook. Nick Batum, $25 million.
They've been trying to dump him, but they just can't. I'd buy him out and say, "I'm sorry, we just need the roster
Terry
spot."
Rozier, $19 million. Biyombo, $17. Cody, $14. So let's, if we're going to waste $38 million and they'll take Rozier and Biyombo, sure, I mean, he's better than Rozier, so... And you're spending the same thing. Well, who cares about Biyombo? I can get somebody else to stand in the middle and not do anything.
To me, it's just I've seen this dance before with the Hornets. You got your 2 guards last year that could really score, but everybody else around them couldn't do jack.
I think my point is that it's about expectations. Like, people be like, don't do that. You can't win a championship. Who's saying anything about winning a championship? I want to be able to go to Charlotte, take my kid and say, hey, let's watch Russell Westbrook. Not... Let's watch Devontae Graham and Willie Herman Gomez and Miles Bridges and Malik Monk.
I like Herman Gomez.
You can buy a Hornets jersey. You can buy Hornets jersey. Think about Westbrook's got his own shoe lines. Think about some purple until Westbrook.
He's a Jordan Brand athlete.
He's a Jordan Brand. There's so many things that I'm not saying we're not jumping on his coattails to win a championship. Jordan has said it himself. You can't get free agents, so you have to trade. So let's say if you do trade for Russell Westbrook, let's say you get Rozier and Biyombo. It's the only thing left on your roster now. You've still got Batum at $25 million. You can find someone else to dump him maybe that needs to move some money. It's got someone else, even if not in 2 years. It's just 2 years. Westbrook's got 3 years. So then after that, you got clearing $50 million off the books. So then you could next year or the next you could either make. All you need is trade one guy. So when they got Dwight Howard, I was like, okay, they got Kemba, they got Dwight. That's decent if they get a scoring wing. We're cooking something. We're 4 or 5 seed here in the East. And now if they got the opportunity once Westbrook's here, then you can move a Batum and something else.
Does this not make
and
the
if they hit on their
third pick,
draft, that makes it even better.
Does this not make who you pick at the third pick more valuable though? Because if you get somebody, because like you said, Russell Westbrook, you alluded, he said there's a possibility he heard it and was like he's shooting it down. He doesn't want to go to Charlotte.
Right.
Well, maybe you get that third pick right, and it makes it look a little bit more appealing for him to come and play with somebody. Because what he probably did was looked at this roster just like we do and said, "Dang, who do they got?
Yeah, they don't have.
Who do they
that's
got?"
the problem. I got to score 35 for us to be in games.
Well, that's fine, but they can in the East. There's six. The Hornets weren't good last year. There was 5 teams worse than them. Yeah. Like, come on, that's
and
how
the Wizards
bad it was.
made the bubble and ended up having a worse record than the Hornets after the bubble was over.
Yep, that's true.
All right, let's do the draft. We're gonna do a mock draft. We're gonna go through. I'm gonna let. Let's see. Let's go with. I'm gonna go Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
For the number 1 overall pick, Minnesota Timberwolves. This is what we're going to do. If you're the GM of that team, I want y'all to pretend who you are and what you're going to do. Minnesota Timberwolves. You've got D'Angelo Russell. You've got Karl Anthony Towns. You got the number 1 pick. ESPN's. I'm going to tell you their perfect pick for each team that they think. You know how that's worth anything. So they've got LaMelo at number 1. Other guys you can pick, of course. Wiseman, Okongwu, Edwards, Halliburton, Advija, Toppin, Hayes, Okoro, Maxey, Vassell. But the ESPN one says the perfect pick for them is LaMelo Ball. Now, before we go any further on LaMelo, I do want to comment. I was watching some, and this is what trips me out about scouts every year. So they talked about he's 6'7". He's a playmaker, but then he shot 26% from 3, and he doesn't play good defense.
But they said he's the best NBA prospect out of the top 4 or 5.
Right. So you can't shoot and you can't guard anybody. But you're the best prospect. Now remember, here's what's also weird about it.
That's his brother. His brother plays better defense.
Have we heard a word from LeVar about this? He pumped up the other kid like crazy.
Lonzo.
And he's not saying nothing about this one. This is all the most fishiest stuff ever. Now, I'm not saying anything about him going overseas and playing. That's fine. But if the Hornets picked him, I would just lose my mind that you picked a guy and his description was he can't guard anybody and he can't shoot. Well,
he just fit right in with
I know.
us.
Here we go, Charlotte. Him and MKG.
They're used to making that pick, so
it's just insane, like how that's the number 1 pick. Like, how do you see that if you're Minnesota? Yeah, I want that.
If I'm Minnesota and I'm making the first pick, I cannot take anybody other than Edwards.
Yeah,
Anthony Edwards out of Georgia. He can play the 2 guard. He could probably move over if you're running small ball and play the 3. That's because you're just gonna have D'Angelo Russell run point. So regardless, you'll have both of them on the floor, and they're both big-time scorers. So you're looking at it, we've always said you got to look at the floor, your team, your starters, and say, well, we got to get to at least 60 somehow. As soon as Anthony Edwards hits the court, he could score 20, Russell can score 20, and Cat can score 20. So there's your 60. So to me, you got to go with him, Anthony Edwards.
All right, Terry, with the number 2 pick in the NBA draft, you're the Golden State Warriors. Anthony Edwards is off the board. who are you looking at then, and who will you take to be the Warriors' pick? The ESPN's perfect pick is Memphis's James Wiseman. Looking at another mock is Wiseman there at center as well. And this mock has got Edwards 1, Wiseman 2. So I'll go with that at first. So Terry, if you're the Ultimate Warriors, the Golden State Warriors, if you're the Golden State Warriors, who are you going with the number 2 pick in the NBA draft?
Well, if I got a pick, first of all, I'd look at a trade if I could get somebody for the middle. But if I cannot, then it's easy. I mean, you go Wiseman. Mm-hmm. You take him. He's going to fill my middle. And he's not going to have to be your all-star. He's got everybody around him, Thompson, Curry, your leader of Green. Mm-hmm. So he's going to be taught how to play. So, I mean, he has to have nobody else. So you go Wiseman, and you're perfect.
So, you know, what's so hard about these big men is so many.
Tom, you got to have a leader.
Is he gonna teach him how to sucker punch somebody? In
He
the
probably
jewels?
is. This is how you win in this league.
That's how you win in the league.
So what's so bad about or hard to do now with this draft in the NBA is LaMelo plays overseas. Wiseman didn't get to play at all hardly. So you know, it used to be a day we get to see at least 2 or 3 years of these guys, and now with nothing, like you see a comparison like with Wiseman, I'll see one that says David Robinson. I'll see one that says
I don't like it when they do that.
I'll see one that says Chris Bosh, and because he's lefty, big, tall, 7-footer, and I'm like,
Chris Bosh was a Hall of Famer.
Well, David Robinson, one of the greatest centers of all time.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing with the comparison, but I don't like when you do that because that puts so much pressure on that young man.
Right. Joe Burrow said the same thing whenever he was being
you know.
compared to Brady in Montana.
Yeah.
He said, you know, Brady's still playing and Montana was great, so let's hold back on those.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
they're doing physical comparisons that way, and what I'm saying is that he could be great, and if you miss it, you're going to feel bad. But you could also pick him, and how many big men at number 2 or number 1 have we seen? And just not with the Greg Odens, the Sam Bowies. It's just, man, it's just, and then they pass on a guard or forward that averages 25 a game, like the Jordans and
the
Pippins
difference
and Kawhi
here though
Leonards.
is that Golden State's full kind of everywhere else.
Right,
Like they're not hurting anywhere.
they're not.
I think it fits good. I
They
think
would just
if
fit
drafting.
need.
If drafting, you're 100% right. I think it does. However, they could look at it this way: if they don't want to go Wiseman, if I was them, would look at the kid from Israel because he can play multiple positions, and then you can sign 7-footers that don't score a lot. So Wiseman, if they do draft him, you're not asking him to score 20, right? Until maybe 3 or 4 years down the road.
Yeah,
But right now you're not. But realistically, how open is their title window? 3 years, maybe? Steph and Clay, they're getting old.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're looking at 3 years and you draft him, he's not going to score anyway. So I would look at drafting the kid from Israel who can play multiple positions, shoot 3, and then just get 7-footers that go in there and get rebound and play defense and get 6 fouls a game like the Bulls used to with Luke Longley's and those guys. You may even be able to get Dwight Howard on the cheap at a minimum contract if you do that.
I think they're already looking to see if they can sign him.
Yeah, so that could be something. All right, so that leaves I'm going to do the 3 picks since I'm a Hornets fan here. This has got LaMelo Ball. Ain't no way Michael Jordan picks LaMelo Ball. I don't know why they would think that or anybody would think that unless Jordan is specifically telling Stephen A. Smith, I'm picking LaMelo. I wouldn't believe it until it happened. I don't know, Terry, you feel the same way?
Oh, I'm the same way.
I just don't see Michael doing that. Not after his daddy said he was greater than Michael Jordan. Or LaMelo. Did he say he was, or he would beat him right now, or whatever it was? So that leaves me with Advija from Israel, Toppin. One of these has Okongwu. Hunter, you know anything about him?
I do not. Any from USC?
He's got him projected 6'9", 245. They say he's like Bam Adebayo from Miami.
Well, if he's anywhere close to that, that'd be pretty good.
Right
ROI.
now, he's projected. He's only 6'9" though, and he's projected. He can't shoot, and he's 6'9". How many guys have the Hornets drafted that can't shoot and they're 6'9"? Like, is that another?
Does the trend follow?
Right. Is that another thing we want to go to? So that's why right now, if
they did that the past 3 years, well, PJ Washington can kind of score,
right?
And then the year before they drafted traded JK. They traded because technically they had Shea Gilgeous, but they traded him for Miles Bridges. That trade turned out to be stupid. But Miles can't shoot; he's just athletic. So
you guys took my 2 favorite players in the draft. I'm crossing my fingers that Edwards makes it to 3. That Minnesota does.
You have to trade
does
up.
Get LaMelo. If they get LaMelo, we get him. I think. I don't think Golden State would get him. I think they don't want him on the floor with all.
They don't need him.
No, they don't need him. That's exactly
so that's what I'm. So when the number 1 pick comes across and it's not Anthony Edwards, I'm going to be excited because I think the Hornets may get him at the 3 spot if that happens. I think Wiseman or someone will trade up to get Wiseman at the 2, or maybe even LaMelo if he goes Wiseman 1. So I'm going to go. If this is my choice, I'm going the kid from overseas, Avdija, as my pick for the Hornets. So Tom, I'm going to let you do the 5 pick. Let's go back to Hunter real quick for the 4. Hunter, Chicago at 4. Let's 5's Cleveland. I'll let Tom handle that. So Chicago's at 4. You've got LaMelo, Toppin, Halliburton, Killian Hayes, Okoro, Ogongwu, who we just talked about as being the BAM. They've got him going to Washington 8. Sadiq Bey, Devin Vassell,
4
Nesmith, Patrick Williams.
Has got a lot of implications on what happens at 5.
Right.
Because they both like Toppin. Chicago likes Toppin. Cleveland likes Toppin. And Toppin fits both of them because you don't need any more guards in Chicago or Cleveland. Chicago's got Levine
so neither one of them
and
would go
Kobe
LaMelo
White.
Here?
No, neither one of them goes LaMelo. I don't even know. Look, I've watched some of LaMelo's tape from overseas, and he's played very good. But I don't see anybody that needs a need at guard except maybe Minnesota out of those top teams. At least the top 5.
Does LaMelo seem like a 6'7" like and 1 player to you?
He's his brother.
Doesn't look a lot like.
He's his brother.
Right.
This is just Lonzo all over again.
Right.
His shot just isn't as ugly.
The Lonzo shot is just god
so.
Awful.
If I'm Chicago, I'm sorry, Tom, but if Toppin's there, they're taking it.
Yeah, probably.
So if I'm Chicago, I'm taking Toppin. You got Zach LaVine and Kobe White. You can move Zach LaVine to the 2 or Kobe to the 2. They both can score. And you add another scorer right there in Obi Toppin, then you're building something really nice in Chicago.
All right, Tom, that's your Cavaliers at the 5.
Well,
so with Edwards, Wiseman, Avdija, and Toppin off the board, that leaves you with LaMelo, Halliburton point guards, Killian Hayes point guard, then Isaac Okoro from Auburn, 6'6", guard,
he's good.
Small forward.
He's the one that beat North Carolina.
He's physically good.
Okongwu, 6'9", power forward from USC. Sadiq Bey, a 6'8", small forward from Villanova. Devin Vassell, Florida State, 6'7" guard.
That boy's good.
I'm trying to find some
but he's a
height for you.
guard.
Patrick Williams, Florida State, 6'8", freshman small forward. Or you trade back or move around.
I would get if Toppin's not on the board, I'd get Bey because there's a lot of other guards. What Cleveland needs is a guy on the wing who can play defense and shoot.
Usually after the first 2, they're like, those are the 2 solid guys that we know are the best. After that, you should just fill need.
There's a lot of guys ranked ahead of them, but a lot of them are guards.
Yeah,
I'm
looking at this and I'm seeing just 10, 12 guards. Like, and then when it comes to that, that's going to be based on what you like a lot. Like, so if that's the case, Cole Anthony could go 6 or he could go 16. Depending on who likes him.
I'd like either Toppin or Bey. If Toppin's off the board, then they're going to get Bey. I think either one of those would be a good addition.
I remember earlier this year, didn't they have Cole Anthony like in the top 5?
Yeah, they had
Cole
Anthony really up there, but then he got hurt.
So Darius Bey, let me read his little scouting report for you, Tom. Or Sadiq Bey. Let's see.
Plays defense, can shoot threes.
Says he
score.
6'8", Villanova who can guard 1 through 4. Bey is a killer 3-point shooter, it says.
Yeah.
Who rated inside the 90th percentile as a spot-up shooter. He made 45% of his threes. So Terry, this kid is 6'8". He can guard 4 positions, and he shot 45% from 3. LaMelo Ball is 6'7", can't guard anybody, shot 26% from 3, and he's the number one pick.
It's that last name. It's his last name. It's his last name.
No.
That's exactly what it is. It's his last name.
It's weird, isn't it? All right, so Terry, we're going to go with you with the 6th pick right now.
Mm-hmm.
That is the Atlanta Hawks.
Okay.
It's got Halliburton.
Mine's easy.
It's got point guard. Who you got for the Hawks then?
I got Okoro.
Oh.
I want somebody who can lead
from
you.
Auburn?
Yep. Because I think he reminds me of Ashanti Billups. He's going to be under control. He can physically play defense. He's tough underneath, and that's who I would go with.
He is the one that had Auburn on that run 2 years ago. He is very physical, but he can score.
Yes.
Man, he can score.
All right, I'm going to go over to Tom. You guys have both had 2. This will be his second pick. Detroit Pistons are at the 7 pick. This one's got them picking a kid from France, Killian Hayes. ESPN says the best pick for the Pistons would be Obi Toppin at 7, but he didn't last in our draft.
Toby didn't last. Yeah, they got him with
ESPN had the Cavs picking Halliburton, and then Gongwu all up at 3 for the Hornets. If they pick another guy that can't score, I'm going to lose my mind. I mean, just score. I want somebody who can get 15 to 25. That's all I'm asking. It don't have to be Jordan. Just get 15, 20, something.
Well, I guess, if you're looking at the projected pick, if Detroit needs a point guard, Hayes is the guy they're going to get. I would say he's a pretty solid pick there. But once you get past about 6'7", it starts.
You just
to
don't
crapshoot.
know. It's kind of like you
take the best athlete.
It's need.
Take the best athlete
or need.
Take the need.
Do you want to get, like I said, like Cole Anthony could be the next pick or whatever. So I really only want to get down to 7, 8, 9, kind of see where the Cavs were, the Hornets were.
Yeah.
And what you guys thought.
Teams that stand to improve themselves immediately, that's what I would focus on. I think Cleveland, if they do get that wing scorer, it's going to help them. But it's a crapshoot. These guys are 19 years old, man. You don't know what they're going to do.
You picked Bay at 5. They've got him at 17 to Minnesota for their second pick.
I like him though. I like the measurements on him. I like a guy who plays defense. I like a guy who could shoot threes. But I was
45% three.
But I was talking about him like way back.
Yeah.
Like that's the type of player that Cleveland needs, and that's was on their radar a long time ago. So I don't want them to see it take another guard. I think they shouldn't have taken guards 2 straight drafts.
Right.
So I do like some of their options, and I hope maybe somehow Wiseman slides down there, because even though he's 7'1", he's going to be a versatile player. So that's what I'm holding up hopes for, that Wiseman somehow slides down the board. Cleveland gets him at 5, but I don't think that's likely.
Terry,
Hunter?
It's got your
Celtics
for the ESPN. The perfect pick for them is this guy named Precious. So
Precious.
Yeah. His name's Precious.
Okay. Well, I mean,
it is Precious.
If my name was Precious.
And I'm not even going to try.
If we can come up with somebody like we did last year, we picked Williams that come from Tennessee. We got to have a spot filler. That's what it's going to be at 14. And I'm like Tom.
European.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? You just picking from the, and I'm like Tom, from 7 down on back. Just pick the best athlete that's there for position.
Unless you're one of these guys that sits around in a little room and just watches film with these guys all the time. Once you get past the first 4 or 5 guys, it's really
what film do you watch that says Ball's better than the kid that we picked earlier?
His daddy's got a bigger mouth. That's the only thing. I mean,
Yeah. His dad's going to talk him into a top 10, maybe a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
Well, Tyrese Halliburton's is on here. It says, yes, the Cavs have taken guards in the lottery the past 2 years. Without clarity that Sexton is a point guard or Garland is a long-term starter, Cleveland shouldn't be afraid of taking Halliburton. So there you go, Tom.
They'll screw it up.
Some more guards for you. All right, JP, sit up, stretch, wake up.
He's eating.
Eat. Say hello to your fans. Hey, fans. All right, JP, let's take a break. When we come back, we're picking NFL games and then more Masters updates on KTC.
When is being different a good thing? Well, at Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram in Forest City, our customers say we're different. Look at our Google reviews. They say we're different too. We have the region's only non-commissioned sales force. We use no haggle, clear choice pricing, and we have the only lifetime warranty with no time or mileage limits. When our customers leave, they say, "That was a great experience." And that's where we're most different. That's Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram, and we're located in Forest City.
Thanks for help bringing the economy back, one local purchase at a time.
Kind of uplifts you and you feel better.
It's the greatest comeback of all time.
Shop local with whatsupshopper.com, Carolina Country, and The Boss.
Join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. for our Sunday morning worship services. On WCSL 1590 AM and 92.3 FM, it's the Sunday morning service of First Baptist Church in Cherryville. On WLON 1050 AM and 107.5 FM, it's the Sunday service of the Covenant Bible Church in Lincoln. And on WOHS 1390 AM and 101.5 FM, it's the Sunday service of the Calvary Baptist Church of Shelby. Join us each and every Sunday morning for our Sunday morning worship services on The Boss and Carolina Country.
Just in Time Plumbing is a leading residential and commercial service company operated in Cleveland and Gaston counties. Family owned and operated for 6 years, they can handle any job from bathtub and vanity installation, new home construction plumbing, and commercial sinks to Rinnai tankless water heaters, sinkhole and water line repairs, gas piping, and more. And they offer financing on all projects. The licensed service professionals have extensive experience and take pride in providing first-class service on time, on budget, 24 hours, 7 days a week. Call 704-600-8350 for your free estimate. Check out their website at justintimeplumbing.net. Just in Time Plumbing, every time. 107 South City Street, Kings Mountain.
Well, now take down your fishing pole and meet me at the fishing hole.
It's time to go fishing. Whether it's at your favorite fishing hole or the lake or even the ocean, the Great Outdoors in Cherryville is what you need. Come see their full line of fishing tackle. Visit the all-new reel shed and boats too. Bass boats, pontoon boats, and pleasure boats. They've got them all. So take down your favorite fishing pole and head to the Great Outdoors in Cherryville. Highway 150 East, right behind McDonald's. Online at teamgreatoutdoors.com. Like them on Facebook too.
Hey, can I help you? Wow, this tractor looks tough. Oh, yeah. This is the Coyote RX 6010. It has a 59 horsepower Daedong turbo engine, 4-wheel drive, and one of the highest lift capacities in its class. It's a whole new level of toughness.
Wow, that is tough. I'll take it. Bubby, let's go wrestle a bear.
Experience the toughness of the RX series at your local Coyote dealer.
Your Coyote dealer is Weston Sells, Highway 18 North, Highway 27 intersection west in Vail.
We're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk.
Fan of the
where they talk about sports.
Yeah, where we talk about sports.
Yeah.
JP.
Yeah, JP. That's what a sports show's about.
You're the fan favorite on the show, obviously.
I don't say how. I mean, all she said was hi, guys.
JP got news for you. That wasn't a guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't a girl.
JP, I used to have a teacher. I used to have a teacher that this is how he'd talk to folks. Like, he'd be like, Hunter, y'all quit talking. And I'd be like, how? Or if he said it to Kevin, like, I'm not plural. I'm not Hunter.
Plural.
He'd be like, Hunter, y'all quit talking. Pick out one person in the group. Y'all quit. All right.
When people always ask me, they said, who's your favorite friends? I said, I got 3. Me, myself, and I. Okay.
Sounds about right. Sounds like Terry.
Well, I guess we're all chopped liver here.
So the top 5 is still the same top 5 guys. Answer: Smith, Thomas, Johnson, and Rahm. No one else got there. Cantley, Pan, Matsuyama, Reed at 8 under, Willett, Fleetwood, Rose at 7, Munoz, Fratelli, Oosthuizen at 6. Mickelson is at 5 with Koepka, Connors, Scheffler, Casey, and Tiger.
Tiger, yeah.
At 5 under. He shot a 71 today. They're tied for 17th place is Tiger and Phil. Ricky Fowler, Horschel, Webb Simpson. I can't say that guy's name. He said on TV the other day, and I was looking at Andre. I was like, nah. Shuffle at 4 and Kim at 4. The cut, real quick, Terry, below the cut, let me get to it, is even. So everybody even or under right now is getting in. Kuchar, looks like it's out. Gary Woodland is out. Jason Day, Fred Couples. So
I hated Fred Couples didn't make it.
Yeah. Vijay Singh withdrew. The worst scorecard right now is Andrew Landry with the 16 and Gallegos with 16 over. Jose Maria, I thought I lost to my ball, is 14 over.
Yeah. Well, I was looking. I think Jordan Spieth's on his last hole or next to last hole, but he is even, and he's got to up and down. He's got to put in, and for him to make it. But that'd be somebody else that would be left out. Now, I don't know whether playing in the morning before you have your second chance of playing is good or bad. I know Paul Casey.
Good.
Well, yeah, I think it is because Paul Casey had a terrible start yesterday, but he ended up going to the second part of it and lit it up.
I'll say this: if it's only 9 holes, 18, you're going to get worn down. But if it's only 9, I'll say this: I don't know how many times I've been playing with my friends and everything, and everybody plays better on the back because you've warmed up. We don't spend hours, hacking on the driving range and stuff. But yeah, Terry, it can be beneficial. It depends, though. If you're someone like Tiger or someone's got knee or back issues, you don't want to play 27 holes in a day or 36. But if you're healthy and young, you probably would start warming up that back 9 and would want to attack. But they're finishing up now with 1 or 2 holes left to go before we get started on the round 3. All right, guys. NFL time. I want to go over to let's see.
Okay, he's on the 18th, so he's on his last hole. So that's a big up and down he's got.
So this week in our rankings, folks, that's where I wanted to get to this. The Carolina Panthers are this week's Super Bowl eliminated teams on the Shock Jocks Power Poll Super Bowl Kevin Hastings Power Poll rankings. Finishing at 23. Well, they're not going to finish there, but that's where they get knocked out. 3-6 on the season so far. Just looking at their schedule, guys, you got to run the table at 3-6 for the most part. I think they got a pretty tough schedule ahead of them. And I'm not sure the Panthers can do it. I feel good about, where they're at. I mean, technically there's about 7-8 teams behind them. But, Teddy Bridgewater's been solid this year. They've also, I guess you got to be concerned with, McCaffrey and his health. And, you putting $16 million into that position. The problem right now, the South is pretty good. Saints, you got Tom Brady, Matt Ryan. None of those guys are going anywhere. I don't think in the next year or two, and you got some good quarterbacks. Unless the Falcons decide to do something, but I don't think they're going to get that bad of a record to move on from Matt Ryan. So Panthers improve their defense after drafting 7 all defenders. In the draft, which I thought was a good move when you've got the 30-something ranked defense or 31st ranked defense last year, is to go all defense. Terry, where do the Panthers go from here to improve their team and be more competitive in the NFC South? Or is this a thing that in 3 years, think about it, in 3 years, Breeze may be retired, Brady may be retired, Bridgewater's contract may be over, and depending on what happens with the Falcons, Matt Ryan, we could have 4 completely new quarterbacks in as little as 3 years in this division. Or are the Panthers playing the long game with Matt Rule and his 7-year contract to outlast Breeze and Brady and try to beat them that way?
Well, when I look at them, and this is me from my outer part, I think they're okay. I mean, you're 3-6, but a lot of these games you blow at the end. Mm-hmm. You've been in a lot of these games. I think they got to come out to put a little bit more stoutness in that defense. Go get you some more linebackers like they had before.
Terry, 5 of their 6 losses are with 1 score.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I think they got to tighten up on defense.
2,
I think their
8, 3,
offense is
7,
fine. You
4.
get McCaffrey back. You got more. You got people on the outside, so you're okay to me. I just think they got to tighten up on their defense a little bit more. And I mean, bottom line, make plays. But these guys, this is the first year they've played together. So, know. I mean, Bridgewater, everybody's got to get used to a new quarterback. And
a new coach. Not only is it a new coach for a team, it's a new coach in a new league. He's never coached against an NFL offense.
He's learning
or an NFL
every
defense
game.
Before. And coaching against NFL defenses is probably the tougher part, trying to figure out what's going on and what they're doing.
Terry, could you make the argument that out of all the teams that are grayed out, the one on the rise is Carolina?
Yes. Well,
they might be a year away from at least being up in this conversation.
So real quick for our radio listeners, Terry, here's who we have eliminated. Okay. Detroit, both New Jersey teams, Denver, Houston, Atlanta, Jacksonville, Cincinnati, San Diego, and now the Panthers. That's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 teams that we've eliminated from Super Bowl contention.
Well, I want to tell you something that you were looking at coming this week. The Giants play Philly. If they lose, you did a great job here. If the Giants win, they're right there with Philly. and they've been eliminated on this thing because that will be 3 wins for them. They'll go to 3-7. Which Phillies that one tie is huge.
I'm tempted to just graying out every team in the NFC East and just not
one of them got to win.
Not even worrying about that.
The Giants know this is their season right here. They know that. If Philly wins, you can almost take Dallas completely out of it, and I hate that, but that's what would happen because that Philly, they're really 3 games up on Dallas, really, because that daggum tie, I hate them ties. But the Giants, if they win, everybody's back in it. Even Washington's in it. Everybody's in it. I mean, the Giants have only won 2 games, and they beat Washington twice.
Best thing that'll happen, the best thing that can happen this weekend, in all seriousness, is Philadelphia wins. Because then you're basically saying,
you're
Giants
done with
are
everybody.
Out, Cowboys are out, Washington is out, and we don't have to worry about anybody else in this trash division.
Well, that's what would happen. If Philly wins, they probably eliminate everybody. Yeah, because Washington, if they're playing Detroit at Detroit, that's not going to be easy, So
it's not going to be easy, but
it's not exactly a tough game either.
Yeah,
it's
not a tough game.
What quarterback shows up for Detroit?
I always say defense wins championships, as most people do say, but 49 or 54 champions have been top 12. Here's your top 12 defenses right now. Baltimore 1, Ravens 2, Colts 3, Dolphins 4, Pittsburgh 5, Chiefs 6, Bears 7, Cardinals 8, Bucks 9, 49ers 10, Landover 11, Foxborough 12, New Jersey Giants 13, and the New Orleans Saints at 14. So there's your teams giving up 25 or less points a game.
Everybody in the NFC East is minus when it comes to totals. They've scored less than they gave up.
Dallas with the worst defense in football, 32.2 points a game. Jacksonville, 30.9. Seahawks, 30.4. If you're going to pick the Seahawks in the playoffs, man, they're going to get beat by somebody giving up 30.4. Houston, 30.3, and Detroit, 30. Only one team last year gave up 30 a game. This year, it's 5 teams giving up 30 a game so far. And then if you do rounding, it's 7 teams because the Jets and the Browns pitch in on the rounding with 29.6 and 0.8 a game. So scoring is up about 1.5 points in the league this year than normal average at 25. So on the board, I've still got Cowboys, Redskins alive at 22 and 21. They're only there because somebody's going to win the East. And like I said, I may just eliminate the whole East next week.
It all depends on Philadelphia tomorrow. I'm like Hunter.
Hey, I mean, I still don't know if they're going to
win
the Super Bowl.
If they lose, Philadelphia loses, look out. Everybody's right back in it again.
Minnesota at 20 at 3-5. Cam Newton at 3-5. Is it retirement time? Is it wait for everybody to come back and get more healthy time in New England? Is it time to move on time in New England? Terry?
Oh, you asking me?
Sure. Well, I mean, somebody can answer it.
Well, I just think
Hunter talked quite a bit about it Wednesday.
Yeah,
so
I just think they need. I don't know how Tom's looking at it, but it's a whole redo up there. I think Belichick, does he want to go through all that? I don't know. I think he's got to have a good quarterback. I don't think Cam was the deal. I mean, Cam knows he's messing up. I mean, he blew a game against Buffalo. They had an opportunity to tie going overtime. I'm not saying they would have won, but they had an opportunity. Last week he looked pretty good. But, you got to be consistent. Tom Brady was consistent. You're just going to get the same guy every week unless you go to Tampa Bay right now. And
I was getting ready to say it. They were consistent last weekend.
Well, my whole deal in behind stuff like that, he's questioning, I'm going to mention this right now, and then we'll get back to them, but he's questioning Tom Brady, and I'm like, okay, how many rings you got? I understand you're the coach, and I understand I'm going to do what you got to do, but you don't have no rings. Now, quit telling me what I got to do. I mean, my whole deal last week, you want to talk about stuff I missed? We gave up 38 points. Maybe you want to talk to the defense about not giving up that many points.
Well, maybe you want to talk to Tom Brady about throwing 3 picks.
He did only get three points. But I understand what you're saying, Terry, as far as,
I didn't realize.
Yeah, go ahead.
One thing I didn't realize how bad Tom Brady's passer rating was when he's under pressure.
Yeah. Well, that's always been the thing on him. Yeah. If you can pressure him straight up the middle, and it's his plant foot. It's his step. He wants to plant that front foot and drive it through, and that's the key. Anytime, so with Cam, when you see him throw, he leans backwards, and that's the thing. If Cam would lean forward just 6 inches or in his shoulders, I think he would fix a lot of his accuracy just by doing that and watching Tom step into his throws. And that's what Brady's thing is. Same thing with Breeze. He gets pushed up the front. He's got to lob it on it. That's when you see the arm strength go down for both of them. Yeah, when they get pressure at the middle, Tom, how about this? The Patriots are 3-0 when they win the turnover battle, 0-5 when they lose the turnover battle. Just simple as that for them.
Yeah.
49ers,
and Belichick's he's going to fix that. I mean.
Yep. 49ers at 18. Does Garoppolo come back for the 49ers next year? He'll be a free agent, right, Hunter? I think so.
I think they're done with him.
Yep.
I think they're done with him. I've listened to Colin talk on it, and it makes a little bit of sense. He says, and this is in all sports, the best ability is availability. And Jimmy Garoppolo, yeah, he helped you get to the Super Bowl. Was it really him or your run game and that defense that got you there? And if anybody can play that position and fill that spot, I think about it, Jimmy Garoppolo's played, 2 games this year? Because he's been injured the whole time. They shut him down, put him on IR, said, your ankle's not right. He was hurt when he first got to San Francisco from New England. So the best ability is availability, and if he can't stay healthy, I wouldn't be surprised as if the 49ers go quarterback shopping this offseason. Whether it's in the draft, just depending on where they are in the draft, and they think they can get somebody. Who knows? They might like a Zach Wilson out of BYU. They might like the Kyle Trasks out of Florida. Everybody's talking about those first 3, Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, and then the young man out of North Dakota State, Trey Lance. They're talking about him, too. If they're not there, there are other quarterbacks. I mean, nobody said you can't go and get a quarterback. Hell, Green Bay did it last year. They reached. So if anybody can run that offense because it's really Kyle Shanahan that's manipulating it and pulling the strings, and you just need to have somebody that's a game manager, do it. I think Jimmy Garoppolo's time there is done. I think it started with the porn star, but then after that, it was the injuries.
That's always a distraction. Just ask the current president. But
that's always one of the first steps to the wrong step there, Hunter.
Yeah.
All right, Colts at 17, they demolish. So here's what's weird, Hunter. Here's what I mean by I need to update this on Fridays, because after Thursday, the AFC playoff picture has completely flipped around on my schedule here, because as of Thursday, the Colts were out, the Browns were out, Dolphins were in, and I had them at the 11th. Right at this moment, after the Colts beat or trounced the Titans the other night, the Dolphins have now been bumped back out of the playoffs, and then now they would. So, we're looking at this. I'm just going to kind of go down and then we'll do the games. I had Dolphins at 11, Browns outside, of course, at 15. If you got to be outside the playoffs, they're still in the 8th spot. So if it started daytime, it'd be out. But if they cancel the game and they add a playoff team, they'd be in, because they're still thinking about adding that playoff team.
They are?
Yeah, if there are any
just
game cancellations, the owners agreed to expanding it to 16 teams.
They're going to add a playoff team.
Yeah.
So pretty soon everybody will be in.
So almost Cleveland's got to have a chance.
Well, they've got a chance now.
They got to play better if they're going to make the playoffs.
There's 9 teams pretty much going for 7 or 8 spots in the playoffs right now. Cleveland, Miami, Raiders, Titans, Baltimore, and Colts are all fighting there. Top 5, let's go with that. How about I got Steelers at 1, Saints 2, Chiefs 3, Seahawks 4, Ravens 5, and then it's just all a bunch between 16 and 14. I'm going to have to redo and look up myself. All right, let's pick some games this week across the NFL, so we can have some things to play next week for you guys. I told Tom, y'all did fantastic. Y'all actually did really good on the NFL last week. I think it was 10.
NFL, I feel like it's easier to pick than college because there are so many games happening at the same time in college that sometimes we just don't we're not able to get a read.
Well, if I can only name one Indiana player in my lifetime,
right,
as opposed to a top 10 team Indiana player,
and it falls down to sometimes, and I know I'm guilty of it every now and then too. Say it is a Michigan versus Indiana, you would think traditionally Michigan would win that game. Yeah. But it went Indiana. So,
all right, first game. I'll let Hunter pick this one. Houston Texans at the Cleveland Browns. Brownies favored by 4. It's 56 degrees right now in Cleveland.
Yeah, I would go with Cleveland. I would. Myles Garrett might be the best pass rusher in the NFL, and the Texans' O-line is horrible. So Deshaun Watson's going to have a hell of a day running around.
Cleveland has a COVID cluster, and 4 or 5 of their guys are not going to be able to play, perhaps, and they're not announcing who those guys are. However, they are going to play the game.
They did take Baker off of the reserve COVID list, though, so he will be playing.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's depending on who those guys are, we got to know. And Cleveland didn't add anybody at the trade deadline, which tells me they're just playing for a playoff spot.
Tom, why is Cleveland having, and Kevin can tell too, why is Cleveland having a hard time with Baker now? He was the man. Now all of a sudden they're like, I don't know whether this is the right guy for us or not.
He was the man 2 years ago. Struggled last year. He's been off and on this year. He's had some great games, and he's had some not so great games.
Right. I think next year's the telltale season for him of what they'll do.
I think next year's his final year of rookie contract, too, because they don't have to pick up his 5th year if they don't want to.
Right. So here's the thing. Me and Hunter actually talked about this week on the podcast. He's not playing as well as he could. He's playing good enough to win, and the defense isn't. So it's good news because he's kind of like a game manager almost, but he makes throws. Like I was telling Hunter, he makes some beautiful throws sometimes. You're like, my God, that was fantastic. And then it's like he makes some bad ones too. It's almost like a young Favre in Atlanta, to where he's just running around back there. This is what, 3rd coordinator or 4th coordinator in how many every years. I think that does play a effect, but that's what I'm saying. I think next year's do or die for him as far as whether Cleveland's gonna move on.
They say a lot of times, and this is what people say. They say if they can get him to move, the chance of him throwing an interception really goes up.
Yeah.
And I mean, he done that at Texas, and he led Texas to all kind of stuff, which I understand that's college. It's not the NFL.
Right.
And they said if I can get him to go to his left, then he's going to throw a pick. If you force him out of the pocket.
Right. Once you move out of the pocket's fine and dandy. I didn't mind either way. I just wanted a lane to throw the ball in. And what I think what he's doing now is still, again, when you're learning the offense, Terry, your reads may be different than last time. You may go deep to shallow. You may go shallow to deep. You may go outside, inside, and maybe
he makes some of his best throws on design rollouts.
Right, I think that too. I think on the rollouts.
So I don't think like making him move.
They got to get the run game back. He'll be better
if they get Chubb back. I don't know if
play action. That play action, he's deadly accurate off of.
Yeah,
the play action. You're right. They're good at that.
That's why people that don't like Jared Goff. That's what he's good at with the Rams.
Terry, I don't have
off the play action.
I don't have a spread on this game for some reason. Washington at Detroit. Who you got?
I don't know who's quarterback, though, for the Lions. Is it Stafford? Is he back for this week? Because he got carted off last week.
Alex Smith gets the start.
Yeah, he threw some picks last week, too, when he come in. I'm going to take Detroit.
All right. Tom, Jaguars, down 13.5 to Green Bay.
I like Green Bay. I'm glad I got the easy one.
All right, Terry, Mr. NFC East, Eagles and Giants. Eagles favored by 4 on the road in East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Counted the Giants out a long time ago. I got a feeling the Giants going to win this and pull everybody back in it.
Leo, make it nuts. NFL may have put some pressure on the refs to make sure the Eagles win this one. Hunter, Buccaneers in Carolina. Andre mentioned trap game earlier. Is this a tough game for the Bucs?
No. I don't think it's as. I really don't think it's as
tough. McCaffrey.
There's no McCaffrey.
Bucks favored by
I like
6.
Mike Davis.
He can get the
job. He can get the job done, but this is one of those things. We've seen the Bucks get beat, and then the next week come out and just be just as strong. And that's how I'm looking at this game. And Carolina's going to play hard, but their defense isn't as good as the Saints' defense, so I don't see them holding Tom Brady to only 3 points. I don't see Tom Brady back-to-back weeks throwing 3 picks. They'll have this figured out. I got the Bucs.
Terry, anything? Any comment on that?
No.
Well, since we're local Panthers affiliate, I didn't know if either one of you had anything else on.
If I'm the Panthers, I'm just going to blitz every play.
Well, no. I posed this question to Chris. We had Chris in here.
What's the Giants did in the Super Bowl?
We had Chris in here Wednesday. I posed this question to him. McCaffrey's hurt his shoulder now again, missing another game. Do you shut him down for the rest of the year?
Yes, I do. You let him come back. You just don't do that.
Because you're not playing. You're not making a playoff this year, so you paying him $16 million a year.
3 games behind. What? 3 or 4 games behind. Yeah,
you've already been eliminated
back,
on Kevin's poll. So.
Yeah, you've been eliminated off the KTC poll.
Yeah.
So
I'd shut him down too.
Is it Tom's turn? Yeah, Broncos at Raiders. Raiders favored by 4 in Vegas.
Well, Raiders at home, and they're running the ball. They're playing pretty good defense.
I like that team a lot.
I don't like them, but I think they'll win this game.
Chargers at Dolphins. Terry Herbert versus Tua in the Rookie Bowl in Miami. Miami favored by 1.5. Now Miami's got that top 5 defense as well.
I have information about that game too. It was one of the that I don't know if it'll change your pick or whatnot, but defensive end Joey Bosa and the running back Jackson will be out for the Chargers as well.
I was going to take Miami anyway.
Okay, I didn't know. I didn't know if that would change.
They are playing pretty good right now, so I'm taking Miami. Yeah, how about that, Miami?
Hunter, you'd be biased on that one. Tom, Bills at Cardinals.
Damn it.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Where's the game being played?
Arizona. Arizona's favored by 2.5, and the tickets are as low as $358.
I really like Josh Allen. I think, Kyler Murray lost a shootout last week, and Allen won a shootout last week. I don't know. I just, I picked the Cardinals as kind of one of my sweetheart teams this year, but I really like the way Buffalo's playing, and I think they're going to keep that momentum going. They're going to go to the desert and knock off the Cardinals.
Tom, that's a long conversation you had there. That might be on our pick next week, and once that game goes to opposite.
When Tom's picks go wrong.
I like that pick, Tom. I like it.
And that one will be the follow-up on it.
That's what I'm saying. There you go.
I like that pick.
All right, Hunter, Seahawks at Rams. Rams favored by 2.
At Rams.
In Inglewood.
This game screams I would not touch any at all if I was betting. I really don't want to touch it if I'm picking because I just saw Seattle put 30-plus points up last week and still got beat.
No defense.
They got no defense, but the Rams, I never know what Rams team I'm getting.
Now, they've got a defense. They're second in the NFL, giving up 19 points a game. Yeah.
And then you look, so there's a good defense against it's a bad defense, and then it's Jared Goff versus Russell Wilson. I would pick Russell Wilson.
Oh, my goodness. Russell Wilson come out this past week and said that Darnold's one of the best guys he's ever seen on defensive-wise. I'm like, who you buttering up, buddy?
I'm taking the Rams.
He's trying not to get he don't want him to piggyback back like he did Alex Smith.
Listen, this is, and if I'm on here next week for a bad take, I really didn't want to pick this game anyways because I just don't know. It's a coin flip to me. I'm taking the Rams.
All right.
Aren't they 1-2 in their division, or is it the Seattle Cardinals?
I'm not sure.
I'll tell you about half a second. Rams are 0-1 in the division.
Okay.
5-1 in the conference though. Scores. All right, back to that. Terry, 49ers at Saints. Saints favored by 9.5 in the Superdome.
You take the Saints.
All right. Tom, Ravens. I can't let you pick either one of them two teams, but I guess I will. Bengals at Steelers, Tom. I'll let you go with that.
Bengals, is Ben going to play?
Yeah, they said nothing was really wrong with his knees. That's what Mike Tomlin came out and said.
Okay. Where's the game being played?
Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph Burrow goes into the big ketchup bottle and shocks the world.
Oh, goodness.
No, JP, my God. That's already got pressed.
Press
yeah.
I needed some time to code that one for me.
Pittsburgh's defense
as much as I would love to
Tom.
say I love that pick, I was honestly about to ask you how many times does Joe Burrow get sacked?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Let's say he can beat him sometime in his life, but I'm not going rookie,
Dallas
rookie year.
Almost beat him.
Rookie year
Joey
in Pittsburgh.
Burrow goes into the big ketchup bottle and breaks it.
Tom, I hope you're right, but I sure didn't pick him.
Knocks off the undefeated Steelers.
Knocks off the undefeated
The 2-5. Okay, good one. All right, Terry. Lamar Jackson in Foxborough against Cam. Ravens favored by 7.
I'm taking the Ravens.
Taking
Baltimore. Yeah, I started to, but I cannot do that.
Dun, 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 dun.
The Patriots.
We can go ahead and take New England right on out of here.
Yeah.
Hunter. Vikings at Bears. Vikings favored on the road at Soldier Field.
Why, what, 1.5?
3.
Huh?
Vikings favored by 3.
Dalvin Cook starts running wild
at
and
Soldier Field.
They think they're going to just beat that defense.
Well, start getting delusions of grandeur.
This is another game. This is a good defense versus a bad defense. Vikings defense is bad. Bears defense is good. But who are you choosing, Kirk Cousins or Nick Foles? Hell, I don't know.
Hasn't played well this year.
No, they haven't. So
I would go with the Super Bowl champion over the guy who got cut by Washington.
I'm going to go with a guy that's riding hot right now, and I think will complete more passes than the other. I'm going to go with Kirk Cousins.
You going with Kirk Cousins?
The Vikings.
Bears have lost 3 straight.
They have.
Can they make it?
And the
4?
Vikings have won 2 straight off of Dalvin Cook running for 6 touchdowns.
Really good.
Well, Tom, you asked, top headline across ESPN, Big Ben activated, expects to start versus Bengals. So there you go. It's still top. So top of the leaderboard, folks, as we finish up the show here at the Masters. Enjoy your beautiful Saturday. I've got some yard work to do myself. Maybe drive around the Jeep a little bit. But Answer, Smith, Thomas, Johnson, and Rahm are 9 under. Cantley, M, Pan, Matsuyama, and Reed at 8. Willett, Fleetwood, Rose at 7. Munoz, Fratelli, Oosthuizen at 6. And then Philly Mick, Koepka, Connors, Scheffler, Casey, and Tiger Woods at 5 under. That rounds out your top 22 players on the board. Tiger got a chance? Yes or no before we go?
Sure.
Yes. He's still in it.
No.
I say no. Tiger's done. Bury him. So.
I mean, you said chance.
Right.
I didn't.
You're telling me there's a chance.
50-50.
No.
Used to be Tiger versus the field, and everybody took Tiger.
Well, when I saw the Masters coming up this week, I thought it was only Tiger in it as much as they showed it.
That's all they talked about.
Yeah.
Any other comments or suggestions, guys, that we may have missed this week? Anything
We're good.
else?
I think we're good.
Well, we're going to end a minute or two early. Kind of weird for us. Guys, thanks for tuning in Saturday Sports Talk. You can watch, as always, on YouTube and Facebook, and then replays on there, and then the podcast as well. Hunter, we've got a bunch of people tuning in the podcast lately, so thanks those folks as well. JP, you stay away from those bots, especially those Russian ones, okay? He wanted to find out who that person was, Hunter. I bet he did. He had some more hand signals for her. Have a good day, JP. Say bye, Amy. Say bye, Amy.
Showing love to the streets. Come on, you know me, 'cause that's who I am.